then I added to it.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I mean, I added a lot.
Yeah, but that thing's so huge. You know how cheap that is, 60 grand for that. There's no way that's 60 anymore.
And then I added the concrete, the other stuff. I mean, I added quite a bit. So I would say fully into that building, I was 95. But man, that is the most giant art.
And an indoor
arena, indoor stables, wash rack, tack room. It was wonderful. Hey, Bonnie.
I'm not speaking to you.
Why?
Because you've got my handyman tied up. What the?
Only
Oh,
for, wait a minute, only for a little
What the
while.
heck?
Only for a little
Are you
while.
upset that I
Thank you
shared?
so much. Thank you.
No, he was in the middle of finishing up
You're
my electrical outlet.
wonderful.
Hey,
No.
mine are done.
What do
I'm
you got
so
left?
happy. I'm glad you got your fan.
I did all my paddle switches.
What do you got
Yeah.
left?
Guess where I got that
He's done
idea?
You know
my
what?
10%
I didn't
mine.
realize when he said thank you for saving me from
What do you got
lucky
left?
woman that.
When is when's your damn bathroom going to be done?
Well,
Thursday.
What do you got left soon?
The electrical switches,
That's it?
changing them to the paddle things
I'll come
and
do
the
it.
outlets.
Did you do any of the
I'll come do it.
dimmers?
No.
Say what?
Did you do dimmers or anything?
Yeah, one. Or actually,
We did all automated. Ours all ties into our.
Yeah.
I can turn all the lights on, off.
well, we're not rich like you, so we
I
don't
love
do
a
that.
smart house. My house was smart.
How's your bathroom coming, Tom? Does it look good?
It's for his hangar. It's not in his house. It's quick.
So?
For your freaking hanger?
Well, yeah, listen.
So when, seriously, is it going to be done this week on it?
Weekend.
Depends on the plumber.
Oh, didn't Moses think he'd be done today?
Yeah, well,
And I'm serious. I worked as an electrician for 4 years.
Of course.
It's just,
Nick was an electrician, by the way.
Black Cat Electric.
Journeyman or what?
Just a journey. Well, no, I wasn't licensed. I just worked
Apprentice. Oh,
apprentice for
apprentice.
4 years.
4 years. Write it down.
Black Cat Electric.
We're trying to keep track here.
Yeah.
Um,
That's all you need.
guess who I talked to the other day, though?
I will let you know. He told me last week. He said, I promise you're next as soon as Tom's
I
bathroom's
thought we
done.
did, but I don't know. We had,
Don't let him use me as an excuse
He's
either.
got a couple other little things. No, he's,
well, he can only work 2 days a week.
yeah.
Brian, I had a great conversation with. Our original.
What was that?
If you get stuck, I'll come do it. I won't charge
I will let you know.
He needed
I would
some.
not let you charge me.
He's selling a chunk of land down here, so I'm just going to do some stuff for him. But it made me start thinking of all this stuff on the outside of my house. I wanted to knock out this summer, and if he was here, he rebuilt an entire bridge for me that goes over a big water feature in my front yard.
Oh my God. Is he
Brian
going to
is-
be out here?
No, he was the best I've ever found by far. Interior and exterior. Like Bobby's great interior, but he's not a kind of like a deck and cement guy. Where Brian literally knew all of it. He worked for U.S. Homes back in the day. You know, he was over all the bills in Douglas County.
I could have, I can do almost anything. I'm not good with wood, but I can do almost anything. My problem is time.
Time is huge.
Time is a problem because I've never really learned how to frame well. I just never got acclimated to it.
Framing is
You know,
I don't like
wood in general. Like
I watched him
pacing
build this
around
bridge, and
doors,
it's no joke.
You know, finishing carpentry, I can't. Framing, I just can't square things up perfectly.
I've done like decking.
Mark, I watch guys do stuff, and if I had to build a square box, if we all had a contest and you had studs and plywood.
The Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down, and I do appreciate you.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show, 303-713-TALK. Why is Brutus making faces right off the bat? I'm going on the air. I look at my engineer, and he's making faces. Everybody, you can't be nice. You got to make faces. 303-713-8255. I am here doing a show for you, solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints. Let me be your bulldog. All you have to do is give me a call. And we talk about all of the topics near and dear to our hearts and pocketbooks. And we fight for you. Get directly involved. Really, it's the only place in media. Listen. There's nothing wrong with local media. They do a good job covering the news, but they don't help you. They are not in your life. I don't care what they call themselves. They don't help you directly. We have attorneys, accountants, we have medical staff, we have all kinds of people at referralist.com that can help you directly. We can give you advice, give you counseling. So here's the deal. All you have to do is call 24/7 303-MARTINO. 303-627-8466. 24/7. When we're on the air, it routes here automatically. Our other number is 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Okay, we're going to go to the phones. We have Bonnie Shields with us, attorney at law, to talk family law, and we're going to ask her to chime in on all this stuff. That's Bonnie. Bonnie, I want to ask you something. Divorce decrees. Really, a divorce decree is after the judge basically turns it into an order. But before that, it's usually called a separation agreement, right?
The separation agreement is the agreement. If two people reach an agreement, that's what they sign.
And then they have a... So usually there's two parts to a divorce, a separation agreement and a parenting plan, right?
Right.
Okay. And in the separation agreement and the parenting plan, when they come together and the judge says, okay, final, it's final, can they be in a group considered a final decree, kind of? That's the... Or is there yet another thing written?
No, the decree, it says on there, this decree incorporates the parenting plan
that's
and
what I mean.
separation
Okay.
agreement. They're all one then. If you don't come to an agreement, the judge will issue an order, and then it's called permanent orders.
How many times do you think, in general, in the divorce business, and we're not talking only divorce, not only family, but this is part of it. So I have to ask this. It's very important. How many times do people have to modify things because they just didn't get it right? Because they found, you know what, damn it, I should have considered this, and they go back to court to modify.
If there's kids involved...
I bet you 80% they modify. No?
Yeah, if the kids are young, you're probably right. The more time there is left to argue about child support going up and down.
And not just child support, not just modification,
time,
but just all kinds of weird things that people don't consider. What do you think the most commonly overlooked things are?
The most commonly
what do you think? I think college.
Yeah, well, the college is odd. College, if you guys come to an if they come to an agreement that we'll share college expenses 50-50, the judge will enforce that. But without that, the judge may not order college expenses. They can't order that.
I know. And especially there, it's tricky if a kid is over 18 because he's considered an adult, and the parenting plan usually expires. So if you want a good college plan, it should be put in the separation agreement.
It should, and it's tough because you can't really account for all of the things like what college would it be? In-state, out-of-state? What if the child doesn't get a tuition?
What happens if he doesn't want to go to college? What happens to the money?
Well, then
the money's not held aside.
I got you.
They'll split it.
Sometimes it says college, or it says just post-secondary education. It just says, or education, period, which could be vocational schools. Okay, what's going on with Jennifer? Hello, Jennifer. What's happening?
Hi.
I have some photographs here you sent in. I love when people call 303-MARTINO and we can get stuff ahead of time. Now, I don't know if you did, but we have your photos. So what's going on with this photo? Tell me what's happening.
It's an issue with our HOA. So we're in Longmont, and we've lived in this subdivision for probably 21 years.
Okay.
And we've never had an issue with our HOA, but we've changed management companies quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I think we've had this foster management company for, I don't know, probably 2 years.
What am I looking at on these photographs? What's the issue?
Well, the issue is the white vinyl fence that we put up on both sides of our house.
I think it's pretty. I see the right and the left side. I think it's pretty. But you didn't get approval?
No, because...
they hate when you don't get approval.
I know it.
They go nuts over that.
Our neighbor across the street has the same exact vinyl fence.
Did they get approval?
And she got approval.
Are you saying, are they not approving it? I mean, can't you go after the fact and say, I'm sorry, mea culpa, mea maxima culpa? Can't you say, I'm so sorry?
I did apologize. I said, it's not that we were trying to disrespect the HOA.
Okay, right. So what did they say? Okay? Everything cool or what? What do you need our help with?
No, they want to fine us $200 a month, and they'll go up, but also...
but what about approval?
Well, they won't give us approval, and I had asked them if I could get...
Wait. Now, I understand the fining. Let's not talk about that right now. But the actual fence, I mean, if all you did was not call, what part won't they approve?
They don't want the white vinyl fence because
all?
No, not at all. Because in the bylaws, it should be a wood fence.
How did the other neighbor get approval?
Exactly.
Well, okay,
Well,
but Jennifer, just so you know, that
Yes.
is never, and I mean never, a reason to approve yours. People use this all the time, and it does not matter. I need to tell people this.
Yes.
Okay, so, but why? Let's ask that. Why can the neighbor have one?
Well, I guess it was a different board, but if she told me if I get 100 signatures that she would send out 500 ballots to the homes and have them vote on it. But then she acted like she doesn't remember saying that, and she wants
But
it down.
how did it? Was it a ballot for your neighbor?
No.
Maybe
Well,
it's because the current neighbor's got that red fence.
Did you ask why did they approve the one across the street? Did you ask how long was it there?
Yes, it's
What
been
did
there
they-
for.
How long?
It's been there for 6 years.
Okay, why was it approved? Did you ask kindly why was it approved? I'm curious. What can I do? What did
Yes.
they do?
Yes, I asked why, and the foster management lady said, well, because it was a different board, and I wasn't here, so I'm sorry.
Okay, well, you know what? That's good enough answer.
You
That's
better
good
take
enough.
it down at $200 a month. That's going to keep adding up.
Well, that's true. It's just that she seems like a bully because, I mean, if you drive through our neighborhood, there's chicken wire up and there's
You know what?
a red...
That's the why me, and the why me doesn't work. Listen, you can put in complaints about the others, and
Right.
I'm not happy about this. This sucks. Okay,
Yeah.
HOAs can suck, but
Right.
now here's the deal. There's really not much you can do, except if she's the only one, you should have a meeting before the covenant committee or something, at least go over it, because it looks like a beautiful fence. I mean, it sounds like she's just power hungry, and many times these stupid people in
Right.
homeowners associations are just power hungry. They don't have any rhyme or reason. It's just their Barney Fife thing, you know? It's I am in charge, you know, and I have my bullet in my top right pocket.
Yeah, the other side of that, though, is this lady just said there's chicken wire and all kinds of different
Right.
fences. Maybe someone that actually cares how the neighborhood looks is actually in power now and wants to uniform
No,
it.
I hope they do. But listen, Jennifer, what I would do is ask for an appeal and to request a meeting and just use reason. But I would not
We've
keep...
had 2 meetings since, and that's why the ballot issue
And
came
the
up.
whole, hold on, and the whole board is against you. Now, why don't you do a ballot issue? Why don't you initiate one? I think if you look in your organizational documents, you'll find that any homeowner can initiate a referendum. Find the rules and do it. I mean, you can actually modify anything with 3/4 of a vote. You just can't go retroactive necessarily, but you can modify. Now, there's one thing I don't understand, speaking of homeowners. Michelle writes to me. The Homeowners Association is being basically at Parkland Estates. It's a residential air park north of Erie. It's beautiful, actually. It's not the Erie Air Park everyone thinks about, the Lafayette, you know, Tri-County Airport. It's not that. It's a little residential community called Parkland Estates. It's actually pretty nice. The thing about living at an airport, boy, do you really cut down on selling, because you have to sell to a pilot, and you have to sell to a pilot that has a plane, and you have to sell to a pilot that has a plane whose wife approves or whose husband approves if it's the wife who's a pilot. So it's a weird one when it comes to owning a home. But this is what I don't understand. They're having an issue. And they're saying that the HOA is imposing a prescriptive easement on their property. What does that mean? They say the runway is located on common property. There are multiple taxiways on private property, allowing most residents direct access to the runway. But you move there knowing this, I guess. One taxiway easement is also designated as an emergency landing strip. The plaintiffs have the emergency landing strip easement on their property. One homeowner who moved here in 2010 uses the emergency landing strip as a regular runway. I don't understand what's going on. The plaintiffs complained to the HOA on numerous occasions and requested that the easement be used as described. This sounds weird. After a year of almost continuous complaints, the plaintiff filed suit. I don't even know who's suing who. I guess the plaintiff, who has the emergency strip on their property, is suing the HOA. And
maybe people are using the emergency strip daily for non-emergencies.
Maybe that's what it is. But the bottom line here is that this is the weirdest HOA. I would like to know if anyone is familiar with that Parkland thing, what's going on. By the way, we have so much to talk about. I'm Tom Martino, and I want to start right out with Joe Lazzara, attorney at law. He's gotten a lot of complaints. Guess why? What do you think the thing just triggered all of his complaints? I mean, not complaints, you know, calls where he needs help. So there are a lot of complaints about being arrested. Why? 420. 420. By the way, one of the more peaceful marijuana demonstrations in recent years. Congratulations to those who attended. Seriously, I don't think any laws were broken, but there were people that were intoxicated, or I don't guess you call it that, high, and were driving. Joe Lazzara handles DUIs, driving while under the influence. Now, that's not just to get you off, as they say. You know, sometimes you just need to get through the system. You've done something wrong. You know you've done something wrong. Deal with it. But no matter what, whether you're innocent, guilty, falsely accused, miscalculated, Joe Lazzara is there. Keep that name handy. I hope you never use it. And please consider not driving and drinking at all, if you can, or Lyft or Uber or a designated driver, and especially also with marijuana. 303-429-6200, 303-429-6200.
I think this place, I was just looking for sale in there, way overpriced.
What is?
Just these places in that air park.
Because yesterday it wasn't working, but, so,
Yeah, and the
Can we
set-
test that before we go on the air so I don't have this rustling around every goddamn
well, he
show?
came in to fix it, and she said,
It was telling me I had not turned this up.
yeah.
I was gonna say, 'cause I
No, but yesterday, apparently they weren't working.
Oh,
There's really
Yeah,
nothing.
I did check this, Suzanne, because of that.
Okay, so if there's problems with it, would you just don't wait till after the show, let me know during the show so I can tell Drew,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, and then
If
what
there's
we'll do
any
is during
issues
the
in here,
commercial,
so we can test.
go
and-
rustling around from now on. It's just really disconcerting to me. I don't mind a little movement here and there, but
So you're saying if your mic went out, you wouldn't want him in here
It's a little
during the
closer
break?
than you usually have it. so-
Rustling.
Anyway, whatever's comfy for you.
Oh, what did I watch last night? Fuck, man. So I woke up to a Seinfeld sketch, or I hadn't heard one.
what kind of deal?
I woke up to T-bone. And the guy goes, the second guy orders the T-bone. He goes, no, we're going to call you T-bone.
What do you mean, George?
And what they call George?
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's, it's not the, cocoa. They're all cocoa.
You know what?
That because you're out there.
Well,
You're like Coco the monkey.
I wanted a T-ball.
God, that was funny as hell. I woke up to that T-bone.
recognition system.
Who is Barry Mallory? Is it Mallory Berry or Barry Mallory?
He was a singer.
No, this account rep. Do you know what their first names? Is it Barry or?
Never heard of him. Don't know. Who is it? Do I have the email too?
Everything free. 303-386-5919. Open
This is
everything
called
on Sunday.
T-ball.
303-386-5919. artofgranite.net.
If you or someone you know is blind from retinitis pigmentosa,
Oh, this guy needs who's our inspector we just had in? That guy. He's really good. Home inspector. I'll look it up too.
find out more by calling 800-499.
I always want to say Paragon, but that's our
499-7620 to learn more about an FDA-approved system that provides
give them a call too and see how much their names you got.
by retinitis pigmentosa. Once again,
well, he won't get it for another month or so.
No, you got them that day.
76
2 people.
Oh,
I
cool.
sent to them that day.
Who is the new guy? Is it Homefront? No. A&H? No. Who's our new inspector? And why isn't he coming up here? Oh, maybe he's in Colorado Springs, is he? Who was the home inspector we had in recently?
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. Now, you've heard me talk a lot about stem
Evil
cell
property.
therapy. I've done extensive research, which
Evil
led me to
property
pursue
inspectors,
stem cell
yes,
surgery
of
right
course.
here in Colorado. They're internationally recognized for their work with stem cells. They're all MDs, working with true living stem cells harvested from your own
I bet they're in the
bone marrow,
spring,
then
dang it.
strategically
You get that one email, Tom, I sent you on
deliver the
Denver
injection.
Healthcare
More experience
or
than
downtown
any other
healthcare?
provider in the
Yes,
country.
good,
Why
thank
would
you.
you go to a clinic?
Do you know they
knowing
advertise
these are
quite
all
a bit?
Centennial
Yeah.
Schultz can help you
Who
with
does?
painful joints,
Denver
knees,
Healthcare.
hips, back, shoulders, hands. They can repair most ACL tears with a needle instead of a knife. Before you
I
have
think that's
surgery,
going to come crashing down.
Centennial
You know, you're right. Every one of those are chiropractors. Every one.
Everybody.
Every one that does that is chiropractors. I wonder what they went to a chiropractic convention.
No, but here, you want to hear the difference that I think, and I know Tom disagrees with this. Here's the biggest problem. I think chiropractors in general are hacks. I went to one time, and my back fucking never hurt so much in my life.
No, you gotta-
I'd never go to
Let
one
me tell
again.
you, and it's
They're always looking to fucking do something.
No, I disagree there. I think you hit a bad one.
Well, possibly.
over 20 years. Sign up now for a free half-day class.
What do you have to do to become a chiropractor?
Well, they go to the.
Do you have to? I don't know.
It's 4 years of school after college.
No,
It
it's,
is?
it's like medical school.
Okay.
They're not,
Well, then I had a hack.
No, I think there are some hacks, and there's ones that want to keep you going every week.
That's what I started thinking. They screw your back up, so each week they got to readjust it.
So, my wife has a car, she loves this guy, she goes to. I go there, and I just don't.
Clint's been a chiropractor. No. Okay, just kidding.
His wife loves one.
I don't get any relief. They got you.
Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. This hour brought to you by Plumline Services. Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. We call them home services at Plumline. The honest people that you can trust for true, honest, free second opinions. I love talking about free second opinions because you really should take them up on it. You need a furnace? Maybe you don't. They tell you need a water heater? Maybe you don't. You need that service change in the electrical to up it? Maybe you don't. Seriously. You really want it done correctly. That's plumlineservices.com, 303-586-1086. Free second opinions, actually with no obligation, 303-586-1086. Let's talk. Bonnie Shields is with us, and we do have some email questions that we accumulate over the time when you're not with us. And I brought up modification, and people want to know, when they make a motion to modify, and the guy stalls, and it can go on for a year and a half, it doesn't seem fair.
Well, the modification's retroactive generally to what the date that you filed for the modification.
So if you think something's going on, you should file.
Yes, you want to start that clock ticking.
What do you need to file a modification for child support since it's more or less formula-based?
You need to have a reasonable belief that the new child support would be at least a 10% difference from the old child support.
I didn't know that.
Down.
It has to be 10% difference. Okay. And is that it? I mean, do you have to, what evidence would you have to have?
Well, you'll get things like as soon as you do it, the court will make everybody produce copies of their pay stubs, proof of how much your daycare is, all the things that go into the calculation for child support. You have to provide that information.
Bonnie Shields, let's keep going here. David, what's going on with you? We have a couple lines open, 303-713-TALK. People, I hope you appreciate, some people have said, Tom, I would like if sometimes you go through some of the callers faster, and then, you know, basically they said the more interesting ones, you know, you can stay on a little longer. I read all the feedback, even the hate mail I read. You know, I may not take it to heart, the hate mail, but I read it. David, what's going on?
Well, Tom.
Yes, sir.
Good to talk to you. I was contacted by a company called Direct Marketing Strategies, LLC, out of Arizona, mid-December of last year. And well, how much shall I tell on that?
You were now, just Dave.
Yeah.
David, were you called or emailed?
I was called.
And so was it out of the blue, or was it something you inquired about, or you just pick up the phone and they say, hello, Mr. So-and-so, this is Direct Marketing Strategies, LLC. What happened?
Well,
out of the blue.
Called and maybe out of the blue, maybe not, because they said, well, I had signed up for a website.
All right, so no matter what did they say?
And I couldn't find any.
What did they offer? They always want something. What did they want? What did they offer? Let's get right to that part. What did they offer?
Well, they had a marketing strategy that
for
they
what?
Offered starting at 2,500 and
David,
going up to about 12,000.
What are you talking about? A marketing strategy? Are you selling something? When you say a marketing strategy,
they put up a website. And they send targeted visitors to the website.
So they're saying, hey, Mr. David, we have a marketing strategy that can make you money. We can set you up with a website and send traffic to it. Is that what we're talking about?
Pretty much that.
Okay, and did they say that
the traffic goes to places like Home Depot?
Did they say you would be selling things online?
Selling things online, and supposedly you get 30% of the profit of that.
Okay, so it's an online site for selling. David,
are in on that too.
David.
Yeah.
Listen, what did you do after that? Did you bite? Did you fall for it?
Well, at first, I said 2,500. Said no way, goodbye. Okay, and then they found these reasons that they could reduce the cost, so it ended up costing me $1,000. Okay, so I said, well...
Did you send in $1,000?
I did.
All right, so when was this, David?
All right, this was in December, about December 16th, 18th.
Of 2017. Okay.
2017.
Here's what I need to know, just very quickly. And this is a yes or no, nothing else but a yes or no. Did they build a website for you?
Yes.
Okay, now tell me the problem.
Okay, the problem is they said that they would send the first money they were to send me was going to be on a certain date in January, and then.
Well, money for what? What was the website for? What was the website for? What were you selling?
Well, basically, they would send people to the affiliate companies, Home Depot, and others like that.
And
if they bought there, then I would get credit for sending them.
Here's what I don't understand, okay, David, and I don't need a long story, but people, what do you mean affiliate websites? How did people find your website? What were you actually selling?
Evidently, is saying that they sent targeted visitors.
But you're not saying anything, David. What were you selling?
What kind of website do you have?
What were you selling?
I wasn't selling anything.
Okay, the website. What was the website selling? It shouldn't be this difficult to have a conversation. What was the website selling? If I went to your website, what was for sale?
What was for sale was just about anything that those companies and their large companies.
So if I wanted to buy, if I wanted to buy a toilet, if I wanted to buy a drill, I could do it on your website.
Right.
Okay. And then when I bought it on your website, did it actually go to their website to buy it?
Yes.
And then you got credit for sending the traffic there.
That's the theory, right.
Okay. But why would people go to your website to buy it?
A good question.
Okay. Another one, David. Did you make any sales whatsoever?
Well, they told me that I have made over almost $7,000 in sales.
In sales. And how much would that equate to in income?
Well, that's the income.
7,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
over those 3 months.
What is your website still up?
Yes.
What is it called? Let's look at it.
SaveSmartShopping.com.
Save, S-A-V-E?
Yes, and then Smart.
Smart.
Shopping.com.
Okay. Now, is this specifically your site? Because do you actually have the ownership of this site? Can you go on and change it? Can you do stuff?
They say I can. I have never tried doing that.
Okay. Hold on a second. We'll talk about this. Listen, every single day people fall for scams. Whether or not we can help that person directly who calls us, one thing is for sure. We can help those who are listening not fall for the same scam. So hang on. Let's analyze this one, David. Mark, could you go to, please, the Internet database, Mark, and look up the ownership of this website? I'm Tom Martino, and we will help anywhere we can. Now, we do have people who have websites that sell things, but they're legit. Then you have the rip-offs that try to do this kind of a thing. Okay, yesterday we had the privilege of having Become the Banker on, becomethebanker.info. If you type in that site, becomethebanker.info, you're going to find my video about becoming the banker. What I love about it is it's a strategy to have life insurance and to overfund the life insurance, to accumulate cash value tax-free, and then to borrow from that throughout your life and pay yourself interest instead of the credit cards to build up even more money. Once you get this pile of money in the end, oh, I don't mean in the end, but toward the later time of your life, 60, 70, 50, whatever you want, you can then start borrowing it as regular income, as a loan, and never pay tax on it ever, and the death benefit pays it off. If it sounds too good to be true, you're wrong. It's not. It really does work, really. And it's a great, safe investment that is guaranteed. Now, you know, it's a conservative, good investment, and it's safe. Becomethebanker.info will get you some information, and you can also look at the video. You can even sign up for a seminar. They're having seminars this week. So why don't you sign up at becomethebanker.info or becomethebanker.org. That's Joe Chiano. He's been doing it for years, and he is safe. You can trust him. The number is 303-779-6600, 303-779-6600.
This is Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHAL and iHeartRadio.
Becomethebanker.info is not working. I've been sending people there. It's just not working. You sure?
Tom, make sure you turn your mic off before you take your headset off. Sounds awesome.
Fix it 24/7. Our licensed plumbers and agents.
Who says it's not working?
You try to get background check, drug screen, and you can get them in your home for just $39.
I want to do a who is on this. Who is? This is not his site. This is bullshit.
It is bullshit. That's what they told him his site was, apparently.
Estimate of all the work.
And then they said he fell for it big time.
$39. Fix it 24/7.
And I couldn't find a website.
It works fine. I don't know your deal. Becomethebanker.info works fine.
Okay, forget that. It does work. I'm sorry if you already called. Blah, blah, blah.
I bet you put .com or something.
Better services for
They're also
I did not, Mark.
No heat. Give them a call.
Is there also a .org on that too?
Rock, paper, scissors. Ready? 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Ready? Oh. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Damn it.
Oh, scissor cuts rock. You got that by scissors.
Paper covers scissors.
What was that about?
Just, I don't know.
Not sure.
Lunch. It was lunch.
It was lunch. Oh, you owe me lunch.
I'm buying, okay.
I bet you would lose.
Emotion plays a role whether or not you realize it. So make 2018 the year that you kick fear out of your portfolio. Make an appointment with a Financial Engines advisor today.
I thought when I talked to him that he was actually selling stuff. I didn't realize.
It helps take some of the fear out of the equation.
He doesn't understand anything about the internet yet, right?
Who?
The guy that bought into this.
He was supposed to send the money, and then I guess they also told him they'd send him 2 checks.
Oh, this is the guy, David Weeks.
Yeah, but they sent him to the wrong address.
He got okey doked. I mean, he definitely got okey doked.
For $1,000.
He must have paid on credit card, though, right? I mean, usually shit over the internet, he's not going to put cash into a screen. Wouldn't that be funny? We need to say this. Well, we had that one poor guy ran out to Walgreens, bought $3,000 in iTunes cards, and sent him off. He thought his grandkid was in jail.
Oh, it
was unbelievable.
It almost happened to my mom.
They thought you were in jail. And she said, most likely, I better get him out.
And they do that there. They actually knew my niece's name.
Oh, that's how they got it.
And she goes, I got a call.
Did she call
Don't tell
you?
my dad.
I had one of those.
My sister's right there.
Oh, while it happened, all the guy at home scammed them. Geez, if she wasn't, you think it would have happened?
If she would have figured out how to go buy those cards.
You would hope people that work at Walgreens and Walmart
Sometimes they
would
do.
have common sense.
Sometimes they do.
For my friends at American Financing, and let me tell you,
I've heard of
Actually, at Walmart, right there where you buy all that stuff, it actually has a bunch of warnings about it. At customer service. At Walmart, where they have like the MoneyGrams and all that stuff at customer service, it says, if anybody told you to come in here and buy these cards, talk to us or something like that.
I'll sell you some more.
No, it's not Target, it's Walmart.
Yours stays the same. Monthly payments won't increase. It just takes one call to their salary-based mortgage consultants. They'll guide you
deals that they don't understand at all.
Well, obviously older.
Well,
they may even be able to get you closed in
I had that GM get me for $250,000, dude.
303-695-7000.
It happened.
Somebody get you for $2 million?
He opened up a full-blown tire store on my entire credit line. Opened up and it wasn't even far from one of my stores. It's more ironic, but he got about $100,000 in tires, about $75,000 in equipment like lifts and tire machines and everything else, and then about another arguably 50 plus in parts and cash. He went to jail. Yep, he went to Oklahoma City. He was already in the. He already owed. The marshals raided his house before I hired him. I didn't know about any of this, but he'd already been a con artist for a while. So because of what he stole from me, he didn't report as income to go towards his restitution for what he owed the feds. So they got him on a parole violation, and they threw him right back in instantly.
And they still look beautiful.
You keep track of him?
Yep, I sure do. Last time he got out, he was in Oklahoma City for 2 years. He got out. You'll never believe this. Next thing he did, he ripped off the city of Schenectady.
Oh, city.
Yep, the next
Did he go
place
back to jail?
No, because technically they didn't have a contract with him.
Martino, hi. Here to help you solve problems, answer questions, and take complaints. Artofgranite.net for granite, a direct stone importer. You can get prices on the phone. That is the extraordinary thing about Art of Granite. If you call Mitch Floria, he's the owner, or one of his people, they will take your measurements and some photos. They'll tell you how to do that. And then give you a price, and that price is in a few dollars of the final price, of course, depending on if you like that price. Then you go to the showroom in Golden, and you pick out the custom edges, the sinks, the cabinets. They have direct from the manufacturer for a small markup, and the counter material. He's a direct stone importer, and he always sells material for wholesale. So once you do that, then you get that final price, but it's only a few dollars off from the phone price. After that, it takes 1 to 4 weeks for the whole job. He guarantees satisfaction. You will love your kitchen. He does the bath free when you do the kitchen. And all the other stuff is free, like the tear out and haul away. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919. Artofgranite.net. Okay, I love talking about good people. Really love it. So if you ever have any questions, you call me directly. Okay, David, I'm just going to cut to the short of it, okay? The people, during the break, we were scurrying to find out. First of all, they're telling you you're getting SaveSmartShopping.com. SaveSmartShopping.com goes to this
SafeCashShopping.web.
Yeah, which means they have webplus.net, and then they sell a subdomain called Save Shopping, Cash Shopping. That's a subdomain, and you're not even listed on that. So I think that they're just selling these over and over and over. But it could be possible you have your own subdomain, especially if they allow you to log in. Here's the deal. There's probably no way in hell to recover the money, and you've been ripped off. It's the plain simple fact, okay? I'd love to tell you, oh yeah, we're gonna go after these guys. We can warn others, and I can say this: if you paid by credit card, then you should protest it as fraud. Nothing. Don't even get into the story. Just absolute outright fraud. You did not make this purchase, because in your heart you can say that honestly, because you did not. That this is not what you signed up for, and I would contest it. Have you tried that yet?
Well, I didn't pay by credit card. So
see, they're smart. They're smart. How'd they have you pay?
They wanted good funds.
Well, how did you get it?
I got it from my bank.
Well, how?
ACH?
What I believe.
A wire?
Well, I didn't actually wire it. I have a bill pay in the bank, and I just did it that way.
Okay, so you did you electronically transferred. What I'm asking is, do they have your account number and routing number? If they do, you got to close the account. You have to close the account completely. All right? And David, you made a big mistake. These guys are like millions of others, ripping people off on the internet. You got nothing. I guess that there's no reason for me to keep saying that. Matt, what's going on with you, Matt?
Hey, Tom.
What's
I
happening?
just really appreciate your show.
Thank you, man.
I love your enthusiasm just for finding justice for people who can't themselves.
Do you know what really, though? It really frustrates me when I can't help people. Like what just happened to this poor guy, David. There's not much we can do when people just do that. I can't believe that you can call someone cold and get them to send you $1,000. Mark, does that astound you? I mean, really? Do you think you could call someone today?
I think of my older relatives. I think of my parents, and yes, absolutely, it can happen.
I would like to see as an experiment if you could call someone and talk them in, not take it, but talk them into $1,000. It would be a good experiment because.
Well, if you knew him, it would be easy.
Not knowing him, I just mean this guy gets a cold call. It's just amazing to me. Okay, so I'm sorry to take your time, Matt. What's happening?
Yeah, I just had a quick question.
Yeah.
It seems like you have quite a few legal contacts, and I was just thinking, if I were to get into a situation where I'd have to use my concealed carry for self-defense, I don't have anyone I can call right now, and that really kind of worried me. And I thought I would just.
Now, what do you mean someone to call for what?
An attorney, self-defense attorney, like Second Amendment attorney.
Well, Joe Lazaro, truly, Joe Lazaro is a great guy, and I don't just say that willy-nilly. This guy is a really good defense attorney.
My biggest thing with Joe is he knows everybody. He knows the judges, the DAs, the guys got connections.
He just, and knowing people helps. I mean, you're not going to get, it's not like you pay them off or anything, but when you know people, it really does help because they respect you. That's what really is important. So here's the deal. You're saying if you ever have to use it, you want someone who could defend based on the Second Amendment. Believe it or not, the Second Amendment seldom comes into play. What comes into play when you use your weapon is simply the circumstances. That's it, the circumstances. For example, was it self-defense and did you need it? And that's the issue, and that's what Joe Lazaro would be great for. Seriously, and he's on our referral list. If you're talking about the Second Amendment as constitutional law, David Lane is a constitutional attorney, and he takes cases to the Supreme Court. But I doubt you would ever need the second, to argue the right, and that's the Second Amendment. But David Lane takes a lot of cases. He's not on the referral list because he doesn't practice that kind of law that people would need him every day. 303-713-8255. Beverly, what's happening with you? Hello, Beverly.
Hi.
Hi.
This is a crazy thing.
Okay, I doubt it.
You have patience with me because
I doubt it.
I'm 73 years old.
I bet you it's not crazy. I bet you I've heard it a million times. What's going on?
Well, I had Comcast TV, and these men from DirecTV, which I thought they were coming from the company itself, regular DirecTV.
Yeah, no, they're not, and that's the problem.
Right. But then I didn't realize it until I'd already signed the contract, but they said I could use DirecTV's people to fix it. Okay, fine. They came in on a Thursday. They came in, put the equipment on the floor, but couldn't set it up. So they were having a man come the next day to set it up.
All right.
He came. He didn't have enough equipment to finish the job. So then he left. And then he said, well, somebody will come back.
This is a painful journey, so let's just get to the part where they installed it. What happened after they installed it?
Well, it didn't work properly.
Why?
Because it's a...
What didn't work?
Okay, don't say it. I heard the words. I heard what you were thinking because it's a piece of... I know what you were going to say.
It didn't come out.
You're too kind. Yeah, I heard it. Okay, so Beverly, seriously now, you had it installed. How long ago was it that you had this done?
On the 5th of April.
Okay. Now, you want to cancel, right?
I did. I called.
Did you sign a long-term commitment?
Well, according to this paper, I think I did.
These guys are experts at going and slamming people into a contract and then getting their commission and running. They don't care anything about you right now. Now, do you want to get it running right? We can help you out, dear. Or do you just want out? You want it back to Comcast?
I want out. I want out of DirecTV and back into Comcast.
You know, Comcast, especially for elderly people, is much more simple, straightforward.
It is.
I don't recommend satellite systems for anyone.
I think that's an absurd.
Mark, is DirecTV just plug and play?
I have
It's not.
Dish. Yeah, it's as easy as Comcast.
Can
Come
I tell
on.
you what they did?
What?
Can I tell you what they did?
What?
I called Comcast and I explained to the lady that they weren't letting me out of my contract because they said I only had 24 hours to get out.
Well, you don't even have that.
That's
You don't have any of that. Yeah. Now, technically, since it's a sale at the door, you have 3 days with sales at the door. So I guess you do have 3 days. But what happened?
Well, anyway, she called, tried to help me get out of it from Comcast. Lovely lady. And they told her absolutely not. I have to pay $489 to get out of this contract.
How long is the contract?
2 years.
We'll take.
They all are, though. I mean, all of them. Even Comcast does the same thing.
Oh, of course.
Of course they do. But if you go right to them on the telephone and take their, if they will give it, they'll buy you out.
Hey, do me a favor,
Oh,
and I know, Jesus can't help here. So Beverly,
I know it.
Here's what we're gonna do, though. What's the name of that dealer that slammed you?
His name is Tyler Wiley.
And Wiley, isn't that something?
Wile E. Coyote.
Tyler
Yes,
Wiley.
yes,
Now,
yes.
did Mr. Wiley? What was the name of his company?
Well, he just said they were a They just were a company. He didn't even say the name.
By
I
the
don't
way,
believe.
did he come and knock on your door? Is that how it happened?
Yes.
Man, these guys are good.
We
got the
DirecTV.
guy that just sent the $1,000 for a website. We got Beverly who just signs a contract.
We had a DirecTV one about 3 months ago. They sold a blind guy a system.
All right, hold on. We got more to talk about. One of the things I love talking about, stem cell therapy. And let's just concentrate on the positive because there are so many negatives. I just have to say this blanket statement. Amniotic fluid of any kind that is shipped is not living stem cells. If you're going for stem cell therapy and you hear nothing else, living stem cells cannot be shipped successfully under current laws, and you do not have living stem cell therapy. You do not. And most chiropractors are dealing with amniotic fluid only. If you want true living stem cells, Centeno Schultz. It's a medical clinic with MDs, and they deliver true living stem cells. They harvest them from you at the time of injection. 303-963-9201. They were the original clinic doing stem cell clinic therapy. 303-963-9201.
Yeah, Beverly, the reason she switched is because they offered her a $300 check.
Well, did she get that $300 check?
Well, I don't know.
Okay, well, I gotta go back to her.
For 15 days.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to her and see if she got 300. If she did, then she should pay it to get out. Well, but even it doesn't matter. They spent money hooking her up. What is the 15 days?
That's how long she's had it.
But when does she get the 300?
I didn't ask her that.
She probably has to keep it for a year.
I'm sure something like that. Otherwise,
No, I don't think so.
But they're not
Usually
gonna-
when they do those gift card things, you get them pretty quick.
But they're not going to allow you to buy it out for that same amount of gift card.
Man, no, typically not.
Stephanie is really adamant about this.
About what?
She does not like this program. Sign up for an early gotta listen to that. Hey, Mark.
Sure.
I have had no problems ever with my DirecTV, ever. Anything except for when the dish gets full of snow. You have that problem?
When what?
The dish gets full of snow.
I never get. Well, I won't say never. I mean, not.
I bought a heating pad that sticks on the back. And I gotta plug it in when it snows.
That's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea. It's a stick-on heat pad, and now I don't have any trouble.
You know how you defrost a thick steak fast? If you have granite, you put it in a regular bag and you put it on granite. Then you take a big pot and you put don't put hot water in the pot because you'll end up cooking it. And you put the pot on top of the steak, so it's sandwiched in between the granite and the pot. I've never seen. I took a tomahawk steak in about 45 minutes. It was in a deep freeze.
Say that again.
It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
What did you do?
To defrost a big steak.
I heard that
thick.
part. What do you do?
You put it in a Ziploc,
right,
which is generally already in. You put it on your granite. You take a pot, like any pot or bowl. You put water in it.
Warm water.
Don't put warm water.
Okay,
You'll
go
cook
ahead.
it.
Water.
Then you put it on top of the steak. So the steak is sandwiched in between
On normal granite.
in the hot water.
And then what?
It fucking cooks it. In fact, if you put hot water, it'll cook it. It defrosts it.
But just on a kitchen counter.
Probably
on a
5
kitchen
times
counter.
on a kitchen counter. Probably
from the freezer.
Probably 10 times faster than if you just put it in hot water, for example, in a Ziploc bag.
Wait a minute.
It's got something to do with the pressure is all I can think about. We did it over the weekend. It was incredible. It worked incredible. Suzanne found it on the internet.
Okay.
We had a steak this thick, and we wanted to cook it within a few hours. And I will not defrost a steak in a microwave.
You can buy granite fixture plates, I think they're called. Sheeting uses them all the time. I've seen them do all sorts of stuff with temper and everything else because the granite just sucks the heat right
They
out.
said if you put if you use hot water or warm water, you will literally end up starting to cook the steak, so don't do it. You've got to use regular tap water. Cool, not cold, but warm. Regular water.
Fixture plate.
It's crazy, man. This was a tomahawk ribeye this thick.
Granite has some weird properties because I know that when you're measuring certain things, the temperature makes a difference in how much it expands and contracts. I don't believe you.
It's got to do with the transfer of.
I love
Quartz. I wonder if quartz works.
I don't know why it wouldn't.
What?
This is something about the properties of granite.
Yeah, because when you measure aluminum parts on granite fixture plates, if you measure it an hour later, it's different.
I don't know that part. I'm going to ask Suzanne when she's off the phone.
Because they'll measure stuff on those fixture plates, because that's what they're made for, is a solid, stable thing. And an hour later, the aluminum will have cooled off enough that it changes the measurement.
So don't use granite because it sucks in the radon gas from the ground.
Does it radon gas in it?
Here's what it says. Here's what it says.
We all love giving him shit.
It's just amazing. We love doing it. It just gives us joy.
Give it me?
Listen to this. An electricity-free steak defrosting hack that will safely thaw a frozen steak about 1 centimeter thick in less than 5 minutes. How? Take 2 metal pots or pans, turn one over the bottom, put the steak on top, and then, just like I said, so it doesn't have to be granite.
Okay.
Hey, that steak defrost thing we did,
that was awesome.
It didn't say it had to be granite, all right?
Hi, Tom Martino
Hi,
here.
Tom
Welcome
Martino
to the
here.
show.
Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. John Fuller, Fuller Law, is a personal injury attorney that you should consult if ever you're injured and you're wondering, is it someone's fault? Could it be someone's fault? Is there a way that I can collect damages? Are there damages? Are the damages worth anything? In other words, information. John Fuller is happy to talk to you. So don't, talk to a brother of a brother-in-law's sister's next door's neighbor's cousin. All these people come forward when you have an injury. Please don't wait too long either. You can lose your rights. Listen, John Fuller is not a high-pressure guy. He's not these guys. He doesn't give himself a fancy nickname, and he doesn't advertise all over TV that he's going to get you millions. But sometimes he can get you millions. Sometimes he gets you way less. It depends on your case, and that's what it's all about, the truth. Most attorneys that promise all this big money just sit on your case and wait for settlement. John Fuller aggressively pursues damages. Call him. 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500. He's on my referral list. John Fuller, personal injury, CO.
Troubleshooter.com. Okay, let's talk. Beverly, we got some ideas, but Beverly, did they offer you an incentive? Deputy Dan said, I guess, that they had offered
$300.
Did you get the $300?
Not yet. They can keep it for their whatever they call it.
No, but when did they say you would get the $300?
I don't know, in a few days.
Okay, I would recommend you take that $300, and they're not going to apply it to cancellation. They won't even give it to you if they know
they want to take it off the bill. My bill for using the cable.
So that's how you get your $300.
Right. I told her I don't want that either. I want to be gone.
I understand that, but really, because you got yourself into this, the only way to do that, there's only a few possible solutions. One is to buy yourself out. Two is to get the $300 and use it to take the sting out of the penalty. The other way is for us to just have Deputy Clint appeal to both DirecTV. Well, just DirecTV. They're the ones. Really, you know, we can appeal to them and see if they'll do a goodwill thing because these guys basically slammed you. Okay, so we'll do it. Hold on, Beverly. Deputy Clint, do you have any other follow-ups where you've gotten movement at all? Any movement on any of your follow-ups? I know you've been working a lot. Deputy Dan, do you have any follow-ups on anything?
No, I don't. How about the one with Moses? We really need to dig into that. And tell me about one of the nicest guys you've ever met.
Yeah, Moses is a great home improvement contractor out of the Springs.
Great guy. He's on the referral list.
The name
in
of
the
his
Springs.
company,
I'd have to look it up. I know him by Moses. He's great.
But how do they find him on the Colorado Springs referral list?
Just Peakview Remodeling.
He helped us out so much on this call.
Does he have a consumer problem or what?
He's helping us out with
What is it? What is it?
It's a lady down in Colorado Springs that pulled her permit as being the general contractor. And
that's because the guy didn't have a license,
yes.
probably. And what happened?
Well, he's 2/3 done, but Moses went in there, and really, she's only paid about 2/3. So she's not hurt that bad.
So she's not really underwater. Is Moses going to finish for her?
And Moses will finish it for her.
All right. We got more coming up with Bonnie Shields, attorney at law for family law, and more.
Are you retired or planning for retirement? Retirees have lots of financial...
Moses was wonderful to work with.
So Len just wants his website, right, guys?
His new website, and then on top of that, really push the basements. He can do it.
Oh, that's right. I got to put that down.
Here's how he does it. Check it out. I mean, you somewhat understand it, but here's how he does it. If you want a builder-grade basement, he'll give you a price. He'll lay out everything. If you want something mid-grade with nicer cabinets, maybe hardwood instead of carpet, he'll give you a price. But he'll basically be able to beat anybody out there depending on the level you want.
Pardon me, Mark, I emailed you that thawing meat hack. It doesn't have to be on granite.
Okay.
I couldn't believe that.
It doesn't?
It's unbelievable.
It can be on any surface.
No, it's got to be a high thermal.
Here's the key. Metal, I used a bowl but a pan, and room temperature water, not hot, not cold, and you place it on there. It thawed our tomahawk steak. I was shocked.
Wait, was it your paper thin 99
No, this thing,
No,
Tom, it
like
was
this.
this thick.
How thick?
This,
Why it was like this.
Why didn't you call
It
me?
was like this.
That's why copper and aluminum are used for radiators.
Did he get a new website, or is that his website?
I want
It goes to
be
the
in
same
on
place.
this.
You need to change that.
I want to be in on this.
What is the new? What's the new website for him? BetterBasements.com. What is it?
Best Basements Denver.
Best Basements Denver. He'll come out, give you a free quote, give you all kinds of different options on finishing. It's incredible, though, that steak thing. You know, here I am, 46 years old, and never in my life. For 45 years, I've been trying to figure out how to thaw steaks. When I was 1, I didn't care. But for the last 45, I've been attempting to do it. It says on here that you can actually, if you use hot water, you'll end up cooking it. That's the part that's crazy to me.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
And then I learned how to cook a tomahawk over the weekend. You got to understand, this thing's like this. It's got a bone that's this long in it. It's a ribeye, but it's huge. I mean, it's...
So what'd you do? You sear it?
Nope, you do opposite sear. So you turn your grill on, you get your grill up to 600, 650. You turn off one side of the grill. If you have a double burner, you know, one burner. You cook it on the non-direct heat side for about 10 minutes each. You get it up to 115. Then you sear it. You reverse sear it.
No way to that.
Came out perfect. It's a reverse sear. It's for really thick cuts of meat.
So you cook it off the burner?
Yep, so you have a grill. Let's say your grill has 2 burners, 1 and 1.
Right. So you go to the other burner.
You cook it on the non-direct heat, 10 minutes on each side, or bring it up to 115. Then you pop it over to the sear side and sear the shit out of it.
What if you want it really, really rare?
Mine came out perfect. Mine, I like meat at about, steak is 135. It was,
I don't know temps.
It was warm pink.
I like red raw.
I do too, but I like it warm. I don't like it cold. I don't like it blue. I like 130.
You have a fork that measures temperature?
It's a thermometer. I do actually have a pitch.
Fork thermometer?
A fork one, yeah, but I don't use that one.
It's not very good.
It's all right.
Hey, Mark, I don't think our new house has a radon thing.
Oh, you got to call our new lady. Oh my God, she is so good.
Okay, because I'm looking online to see, do you have somebody, there's Apple Air,
fact,
Front Range Radon, Absolute Radon?
For the best?
Absolute.
Absolute?
Yeah, the most you'll spend is $900 if you even need it.
Efficient way to accommodate.
That's the most.
Minimal cost.
Well, her home is somewhat new. It's not going to be more than that. You have a basement, right?
Yeah, and my husband's working down there every day, my daughter, room's down there.
Well, she'll.
We gotta get her done.
You know what? She'll send you out a free check. Are you sure you need it? You just need to check.
We need to check, and then we're gonna pay somebody to do it if we need to.
Yeah, what I would do is call her and tell her you talked to me, and I said she would send you out a free kit. She'll send you out a free kit in the mail. You hang it down there for 3 days, and then you send it back.
Okay.
Then if you need it, she'll come out and install
This
it.
is Absolute Radon. Do you remember her name?
What's her name? Carrie? What's Absolute Radon's name? What's her name? Carrie? Catherine, I was close.
Catherine?
She'll answer.
Yeah, Daphne ended up getting, she had 23.
Hers was high. Mine came back under. I was under. I was 3.5. And your digital one did. Oh, you still have your digital?
I got it. I'd give it to you if it's up in the cabin there. If you want to wait for that, I can bring you that digital. But
Did you own it?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I had it, I just wanted to check it. It's only like $115.
Yeah, I just don't think it's something.
I'll bet you I've lent
They're pretty
that
cool,
to 15 people.
Yeah, I used his.
Yeah, but you should.
I took her.
I should charge them?
I took this. I'll send you. I took the test she sent in and his. They were within like 0.1.
They're pretty close.
Or 0.01.
Well, then mine read like 19.5 and hers 23, but it might have been
I
different.
can't believe Daphne's was that high. You don't want anything above, what is it, 4.5?
Well, 4 is what EPA says, but they said 0 is the best.
Well, of course.
4 is
Unless you like radon.
Okay.
A good radon.
You ever get a good radon buzz?
It's like a laughing gas. Well, it's good to know. I just gave it to her husband just died of lung cancer, and she wanted to do it, but she was low.
What about sprinkling system? I think we have to redo ours. Turns out they really do fill out the disclosures very accurately on it.
Mr. Green, or very loosely, probably.
Yeah, Mr. Green Jeans?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Does somebody mean that?
No, we need to really look.
I mean, that's Captain Kangaroo.
Very good. Very good.
Construction.
I'm giving up my age, but.
And if you call him anything besides Mr. Green Jeans, he gets pissed.
We really need to get stronger in the landscape.
I've got a, I might know one other guy.
Okay.
I got to tell you, I find gems, man.
I know. They got to be on the referral list. They're so good, though.
The problem is, like Bobby, if I put him on the referral list, forget about it. He'd have to quit his job. It'd be.
What does he do?
He only works Thursday, Friday. He's in he works for a home builder. He's construction.
How do you find Bobby? How'd you find Bobby?
Bobby?
Mark? Me. Oh, how did you find him?
He is a friend of my daughter.
That was the other way around.
Friend of my daughter. That's the answer. His daughter. They're best friends.
That doesn't sound good.
Hi, Tom Martino.
Tom Martino, welcome to the show. This hour brought to you by Lent Construction. Lent Construction.
Lent Construction specializes in basement finishes with value engineering. That means he looks for the best, most efficient way to accomplish creative design at minimal cost. He doesn't just take your plans and say, okay, we're going to do it. He looks for ways to creatively reduce cost by giving you the biggest bang for the buck, and he gives you choices on levels of finish. You know, if you have a rental, you want maybe one choice. And if it's your dream home, you have another. You know, not everyone wants the best. Not everyone wants the most economic. But what he does is give you choices instead of sneaking in a cheap thing here or there or making it overly expensive. He does line item quotes, which means not allowances, but he tells you each and every item so you can see where the expense is and you can trim it if you want. He's all about value. Jack Lent, and he's all about ethics. He has a law enforcement background. He's been in the construction business 20 years. Basement finishes, and here's the website, bestbasementsdenver.com. Lent Construction, bestbasementsdenver.com. Mark, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, he showed me some of his work. He has done basements, complete basements that, you know, you buy a new house, it hasn't been done. 20 grand.
Well, I know.
Builder grade, cabinets, bathrooms. I mean, they're way less expensive than you think.
Do you understand? We were talking about Moses and Peak Construction out of Colorado Springs. Do you understand we know each and every person on our referral list? And we not only know them, but use them and refer them. This is not just a blind list. I'll guarantee you that the people at Angie's List don't know the contractors or Home Advisor or anywhere else. They just don't. Listen, I'm saying we're the best. Yes, I am. Because we know them, we police them, we monitor them, and we arbitrate any problems that may come up. So, referrallist.com, pass it around. It's the best thing in town. Now, Andy wants to talk about being a landlord. Did you have anything, Deputy Clint, on follow-up? Okay, I thought you'd. Okay. If Andy, you could get to the part here. You are a tenant, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And you want to know about withholding rent.
Yes.
You know, there are laws called habitability. Now, for years we had nothing. Some communities are more strict than others. You have basic habitability standards, meaning to be a rental, it has to have certain things. Under those laws, you are allowed to make demands of the landlord. Now, here is the problem, Andy.
Okay.
When you make a demand, usually the only thing you can do if they don't live up to it is leave, break your lease. It legally lets you break your lease without, and of course a judge would have to rule if it's legally or not, but usually you can get out of your lease doing a constructive eviction because it's not habitable. But Andy, I want to ask you a couple questions. What's wrong with the place? Maybe we can get it worked out or help you. What's going on?
What's going on is one of the rooms, the ceiling is falling down.
The ceiling is literally falling down.
Yeah.
From what, man? From what?
It was from the roof. They had repaired the roof last year, but I think it was from the roof. We got them big storms here in Greeley from the hail and rain, and I think just the water went through the house and went into that room there.
Okay, and is there any water?
Yeah, well, there was water, inside, but they got the roof all fixed.
Now, do they acknowledge that you have some internal problems that need to be fixed?
Yeah, they know.
Okay, are you the only unit affected?
Yes. Yeah, it's a duplex, but it's just my place.
So if they're aware of the damage, what do they say?
Well, they just been saying, oh, we'll get to it. And, well, they had to fix the roof first, so they got the roof fixed in, I think it was last year, November. And
okay, but what do they say about this? What do they say about it? I mean, you know, I know you're the type, you're going to complain, so what do they say?
They just say they're working on it. They just said we're just waiting. You know, they really don't say nothing. They just say we're waiting to do the work.
Man,
Okay, what do you want us to do? We want to help you. Do you think if we called him and say, hey, man, what's going on, and remind him of the habitability standards, you want us to take a crack at it for you, man?
Yeah, if you could. Yeah, I've been telling them, and this has been going on, well, since last year, and they fixed the roof and did all that, but they still haven't fixed that bedroom. You know, it's just the ceiling's falling in there. And then they have another company come out and look at it.
All right. We'll do it.
And
we'll do it. Okay, Andy? All you need is a little help. You know, sometimes when people know there are other people looking in on it, things change. So, Andy, hang on. Deputy Clint's sitting here. He wants to do it. We're going to call the Deputy Clint. I would just call the landlord and remind him of habitability standards, and that would definitely be a no-no, having a ceiling come down. All right, cool. Bonnie Shields is with us, attorney at law, BonnieShieldsLaw.com. She's a family law attorney. Bonnie, I was told that there, by the way, we have lines open, so you can call right in, 303-713-TALK. Calls always take priority over interviews and stuff, but we do have a lot of emails to get to and topics on family law. So give us a call, 303-713-8255, and you will positively get right through. I'll get through your calls quickly. Perhaps we can help you with a problem that's just nagging you, or you want to get something off your chest, or maybe even give an on-air review. So, Bonnie, I was once told that there are fashionable things in law. In bankruptcy, certain things are fashionable during a certain, I don't mean good to do, but fashionable in that you have a lot of people that are upside down in their homes during the recession. Or when it comes to personal injury law, you get a lot of more motorcycle accidents during certain times. And then in divorce, for a while it was division of debt as opposed to division of property. Are there any other marked characteristics of divorces over the last 2 years or so that are different than before? Anything that comes to mind? Weird stuff?
I don't know if it's weird, but one thing I've noticed that I've never done before, and now I've been doing a few times, is instead of going to a final hearing before a judge, you find a retired judge, or sometimes it's not even a retired judge, and you let them arbitrate it, and you're just done.
Right, and you can, they can actually arbitrate it and sign, and will the court still have to bless it?
The courts bless it, but they will.
But with a retired judge, it really cuts down costs and unclogs the court system.
It absolutely does.
You can hammer out the whole thing that way. Now, do you have your attorney present when you do that?
Some of them do, some don't. I sent off an overnight package today to one, and the judge is going to look at everything next week and issue a ruling, and he doesn't think he needs anyone to come in.
No fool.
All based upon the written, what we wrote down, and we sent them all our exhibits. It's a little bit of nerve-wracking because in court you can, you get to argue back and forth, but this will save these parties a lot of money.
Good. Joy has a question. Go ahead, Joy.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
It's nice to talk to you. I remember listening to you back when I lived in New Jersey in the 1980s.
WABC. So what's going on?
So, recently I went back because I got divorced in 2005.
Yeah.
And my husband is retiring, ex-husband is retiring, so the terms of divorce say that we need to go back and renegotiate.
Oh, wait. It actually says in the divorce that at a certain time in the future you will renegotiate?
Yes, when he retires.
Really?
Yes,
okay.
Because they had lifetime alimony at that time in New Jersey.
Okay.
And somewhere between 2005 and 2018, they did away with lifetime alimony, but they made it retroactive, which is very, interesting to me. And
how long were you married, Joy?
I was married for 25 years.
Okay, and often that is lifetime. But I want to ask you something. You were married 25 years. When you got divorced, who rules? Where's the venue, the original venue?
Well, it was Union County.
In New Jersey.
Yes.
So what happens, Bonnie, when modifications have to be done? Where does your ex-husband live?
He still lives in the same house that we lived in when we were married.
So what happens with a diversity of location? Do you always go back to the original?
Well, if you haven't moved it to Colorado, then New Jersey's still going to rule.
But if the husband lives there, can she move it to Colorado? Probably not, right? That wouldn't be fair.
Probably not. It usually gets moved when there's kids involved and you go where the kids are.
But right now, if she wants to modify, or if they have to modify, it's going to be New Jersey, right?
It'd be New Jersey.
Now, did your husband bring this up?
Yes, because he retired and
he's saying, look, I'm paying too much right now.
he said, I'm not going to pay anything.
All right.
So he stopped paying any kind of. And,
how long has he paid it?
I guess we were married for 25 and divorced for 13.
13 years. And how much did he pay?
Well, he's a physician, and he was making over $400,000 a year.
And what was he paying?
And he was paying me $96.
Okay. So, yeah, to go to 96 to nothing, is he truly retired?
Yes, from what I can tell, he is.
Okay, so you don't expect 96, right?
No, but and for a long time I worked. We're the same age. And so for
how old is that, by the way?
We'll be 66 in a couple of months.
All right. Is he on Social Security?
I would assume he's applied. I don't really know.
Doesn't she automatically, since they were married more than 10 years, get his Social Security, Bonnie?
Yes, she can claim under it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can get half of his, and I've already done that. So
and it doesn't affect him at all.
No.
Right. Now, will half of his be better than yours?
It's about the same. He maxed out.
Okay. So, Bonnie, what's your recommendation for her?
Well, what is she wanting to do?
Well, she doesn't want to take nothing. He is saying, you get the Social Security, I'm not paying anything.
Well, what's your divorce papers say?
It says they go back to negotiate at the time of retirement.
Right. So, I think you got to go back and negotiate. It's going to depend on what's his income. If his income consists strictly of the Social Security, which I doubt, then there may not be any.
Now,
what else if he doesn't have any income?
Is it only earned income, or is it investments? And
stuff?
And
here it could be money that you're getting every month from investments. So
but here's what I want to know.
There may be more income than that.
Here's what I want to know. Do assets count if you have equity and stuff, or is it only income?
In Colorado, it's income.
So probably Jersey is similar. Who knows? But it may not be. But here's what's really important for those listening. When you have to modify, Mark brought up a good point. What if he truly doesn't have income? They don't do a 5-year average when, how some guys are voluntarily underemployed. They don't want to give their wives anything, and they're kind of bitter, and they don't work the full potential because they don't want to. They literally wait. But when you're retiring, no one can accuse you of growing old faster. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If he's truly retired, no one says you must work. They can't make him work.
Right, not at that age.
No. So therefore, you really do have to negotiate because you may only have his Social Security to ding him on, and you're already getting it.
Right. Well, I will start getting it in May. But the thing is, I think it's interesting that they made the law retroactive, which really puts women at a disadvantage because when you go into
what law retroactive? What law?
The law that says
no more lifetime.
Doing away with lifetime alimony, and it's retroactive.
All right, hold on. We'll finish this up. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Fix It 24/7 is doing this spectacular cleaning of your furnace. Now, it's a clean and check and adjustments. All in one call. Usually, it's over $200 for something like this. Of course, they've been doing this $39 special. Now, because it's the end of season, it's the last they'll be doing furnaces, they're going to do it for $27. So, this furnace tune-up and clean and check, especially when it comes to the blower motor and the area, it's going to help even your air conditioner. But if you want the furnace done, and it'll be perfect for next season, and you want to get it done, you will not believe the extent of service you get for this $27. It's unbelievable. And not only that, but if anything's wrong, of course, you'll get an honest assessment with no obligation, and you'll never get better value or work done than Fix It 24/7. $27. It's only for the first 10 callers to get your furnace done perfectly, and it's almost like a refurbishing. 720-526-3939, 720-526-3939, just $27.
They lost $64 billion in value in the last couple of days, but here's what they did. It's the dumbest thing, and I can't figure it out, and I'll never figure it out because they're smart marketers, probably the best. Why would they release 2 fucking models at the same time? Why in the hell would you do it? I had never heard of such a thing. Can you imagine the Ford Focus and the Ford Focus 2 coming out at the same time?
Or 2 types of Corvettes.
Pull over there on the left lane looks like that's been
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I couldn't have fucking timed that BAC better today.
You got 2 more cents.
I could have got 8 or 9 more cents. It actually went up to 85 cents.
This is crazy. This traffic in West 16.
Maybe not, but I gotta tell you, my shit is steady as an arrow lately. I have got some.
What do you got, Microsoft?
Microsoft I was looking at jumping into. It's one of the reasons I sold BAC. They report Thursday, I believe.
I am so thrilled.
In fact, my other buddy Dan was
on the referral list
mentioning it.
actually does adjustments that
Yeah,
entire
I'm almost
industry
positive it's
has
Thursday.
been polluted by guys. Once they become a chiropractor, they spend their career trying to not be a chiropractor. They get into the supplements. The
Walmart's being steady A. General Electric is up. General Electric's up 1% today. Let me look.
Chiropractic Center, Dr. Mike Petterscheit,
Microsoft is down 2%.
Yeah, I know, because earnings is coming up. No one knows what they're going to say. I think everybody's spooked about FANG, and they're not liking, they're afraid of Microsoft. I think Microsoft's going to come out. Their fucking cloud business is going to be through the roof again. Windows 10 is killing it. Their Office product, I mean, they're just everything I think is going to be great.
Hey, Mark, do you have any thoughts on interest rates? We're trying to lock in our mortgage on the new house, and it was 3.85 last week. This week for a 10-year, now it's like 4.2 something.
For a 10?
Yes.
It's that high?
For a 10. And she's like, and we've got a great lender. I'm like, keep asking her, what do you think? But I mean, she can't tell me to hold on.
Perfect credit.
Yeah.
Let me get a real. Sometimes a 15 is cheaper, but you want a 10, right? Or do you care if it's cheaper? Who cares?
I don't
right?
care if it's cheaper. I'll just pay more every month.
Yeah,
I need
exactly.
it paid off in a few years.
I don't know why that happens sometimes.
FANG stocks are averaging 4% down.
Let me see what
Yeah,
she
no, that's
put
why I
in her
think
email.
Microsoft might get a good boost. You know, most of my Microsoft I bought
It's below 24 cents.
Oh, quit crying. I'm up for the day. Can you believe I'm up for the day?
15 years, 4.25, and the 10 years, 4.125.
Hey, Vince Mark.
Look, I'm trying to finance our new house.
Hey, bottom line, a 10 or 15 year, I mean rock bottom on a mortgage, perfect credit, blah, blah, blah. Is it a jumbo? Is it a jumbo?
No, 250 is all left.
Oh, it's only 252, man. Low amount, high value.
I have an update on the adoption.
No, I mean, that's it. That's the APR.
They also protect your spouse
Alright.
from possibly losing your home if you pass away.
And it's still not finalized.
3.8.
More than your house
3.8.
is worth. Hey, it's Russ Kaminsky, and here
Rock bottom. That's APR, too.
no monthly mortgage payments, and you have access to tax-free money.
Well, he's aggressive.
That's right, you still own your home, but
So he's no holds bar. There's no. It's a straightforward loan. It's, he's who. See, we're on right now, so I can't get into that. But absolute rock bottom. That's no points, anything. That's a straightforward deal. I got my 15. You ready for this? 2.65. But it wasn't this year, of course. This was. It was low, but everybody else was like 3.1.
Can you text me some information?
Yeah. You can't hit pause real quick. There's two things I kill the. Yeah.
Since 1991, owners Bob and Tammy with their son Travis have provided these services. Licensed by the Colorado Department of Agriculture in lawn and tree using only Colorado products. Call 303-426-4945.
Michael Brown, afternoons 4 to 7.
Democrats celebrated Earth Day by basically tweeting, "Vote Democrat," because climate change is real and we're the only ones who care about the planet. Tune in Tuesday at 4 o'clock for more Irreverent Talk Radio.
Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So basically, Bonnie Shields is with us. We're talking family law and other things as well. All of your problems, questions, and complaints, and you can get right through at 303-713-TALK. If someone lied to you, cheated you, ripped you off, or you're just concerned. Joy, she's been married for 25 years, divorced about 13 years ago. The divorce decree says, hey, when it comes time to retire, you come back and renegotiate because it's impossible to foresee the circumstances. He was a physician at the time making over $400,000. She was getting about $95,000 a year, and he says, I'm not going to pay anything now. So what happens when a guy retires? Now, if you are a young physician or a young whippersnapper making good money and then you just lay low, they can actually say to you, hey, you've been making about $100,000 a year for the last 10 years, and all of a sudden you can only make 40. And they call that voluntarily underemployed, and they can ding you for it in the formula for maintenance, what people call alimony. Right now, though, when you're 66, that's all she wrote. So, right, Bonnie? I mean, you can't, as they say, take blood out of a turnip, as they used to say. So if Joy's husband wants to retire, ex-husband wants to retire, it's done, right?
I think it's done. They're going to look at his modify. It might just be modified. It might not be terminated.
No,
depends on what his income is.
Well, she's already going to get his Social Security half.
Right.
What does that amount to a month, Joy?
About $1,300.
Yeah. So you're going from how much a month now?
Well, it works out to be $8 gross, and then after taxes.
But you get $8,000 now in maintenance a month.
Right.
And it's going to go down to $1,300. Will that affect your lifestyle?
Definitely. I mean, I was looking for a house and had just found one after 3 years of looking. And
yeah, but what did you? I mean, it's none of my business. But did you save over the years?
Yes, I did. And the thing I think is interesting is that because of the New Jersey legislature determining that lifetime alimony no longer exists. Wait a minute, retroactively.
Yeah, but here's what you're forgetting: lifetime maintenance does not mean necessarily lifetime. It means until you remarry or until he dies, or I think retirement is excluded from that. Now, Bonnie, I might be wrong, but it doesn't matter. They don't exist anymore. But I think the lifetime maintenance could not force someone into involuntary servitude.
I don't know how it could either, Tom. I've not dealt with it, but I don't know how it could. People do retire, and their incomes do go down.
So lifetime, you're hanging your hat on that. You keep saying, you know, how could they make that retroactive? It doesn't matter, because I don't think they would have made him keep working anyway.
Right, and I agree. And, you know, in the divorce...
Well, then it didn't matter.
Right. I agreed that it should be relooked at again, but he just cut it off totally. You know,
but if he doesn't have any income, what's he supposed to give you?
Now, what do you mean he cut it off totally?
Well, I mean, he's not sending me anything anymore.
When did it stop?
This month.
Yeah, but you have his Social Security. That's what he's figuring you're getting.
But Tom, he can't just stop paying either.
He can't just stop paying without a modification. He can't just stop.
No, she said in the order, though, when he retires, they redo it.
No. It said that you have to go back to court. But, as Bonnie said, you don't just automatically stop without a court order. He literally has to get permission to stop. Now, what about child support when a child turns 19?
It does just stop.
Automatically.
It does.
Okay. Now, here's the deal. If a kid was emancipated, or if a kid got married or started working and supported himself, you have to go for a modification. You can't just stop, right?
Right.
Okay. And if a woman you're supporting won the lottery, you don't just stop.
No, you have to get a court,
exactly.
The court to change the order.
So
what does her order say?
Joy, he was wrong. Does it say no, because it was lifetime. It doesn't say anything. What does it say about retirement? That he just...
It says when he retires, the matter can be revisited.
Okay, that's all it says.
Can be revisited means that the onus is on him.
Right. You need to put in a contempt right now. Contempt of court for not paying. Right now, you're entitled to the full $8,000 a month. Well, I'm not telling you what the law is saying, and I'm not telling you what your Jersey law says or what the judge is going to say, but from what you're telling me, it sounds like you're still entitled to the $8,000 a month until a legal change is made. That's what it sounds like, right, Bonnie?
That's what it sounds like to me,
yeah.
too.
303-713-TALK. So, Joy, that's what you do. You need to get an attorney in Jersey to put in an order to continue support until it's modified.
During that conversation, you said something, lifetime is 25 years. If you're married 25 years.
No. I said, here's what I did say, yes. If you're married 25 years, it's most likely lifetime maintenance.
I know it feels like a lifetime, but are you saying lifetime maintenance? So if you got married at 18...
There was no law. What it said What the judges did was use discretion. And even in Colorado, if you were married for 25 years, maybe even 20, Bonnie, didn't they often award lifetime maintenance?
They used to for long-term marriages.
Yes. And so, but there was no definition of long-term, if that's what you're looking for.
Okay.
There was no, it was really up to the judge. I mean, like I've heard of some ridiculous cases where someone's married 15 years and she wanted lifetime. But then you also heard another rule, which is not a rule, it's a rule of thumb, and that is that it's half the term of the marriage. Right, Bonnie? That's another rule we hear, a rule of thumb. Like if you're married 25 years, you get maintenance for 12 and a half.
So there could be someone out there, male or female, that has been married twice for, say, 20 years twice, and could actually have 2 lifetime maintenances on 2 ex-wives?
Now, it depends. And Bonnie, correct me if I'm wrong on all of this, but most maintenance severs when you remarry. However, there are, as I heard, some contractual maintenance payments that do not sever. They're contractual. Is that true or not?
That's true. That can be put in there.
Yes. So it depends. But if it's not, if it's mute on the point, then it severs at remarriage.
It does. There's some real problems. Well, it's technical, but there's some real problems with putting a line in there that says it doesn't sever if somebody gets remarried, because that sort of breaks the IRS rules for being able to claim it. But you can put things in like that. You could. There's just
well, I heard during a discussion in arbitration or mediation that there is a such thing as strict contractual maintenance. That, you know, sometimes instead of this or instead of that, I just want to be assured of this for this long. And it doesn't matter if you retire, it doesn't matter if they remarry, you are obligating yourself. Now, obviously, you know, things can happen, but...
child support, well, maybe after the break, but here's what I want to know.
Let's do that.
Can people actually go to jail for not paying it?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
So if you're supposed... Okay, but what happens if they lose their job and they can't... That's what I'm saying.
Okay, now...
Monetarily,
we've had cases in the past where a judge said, listen, you didn't really lose your job. You know, this is a manipulation of the system, and threw them in jail. There are other times that they truly do lose their job and they don't throw them in jail. It's all about intent, right?
There's this thing called work release.
Yeah.
And that's what I've seen is the judges, I mean, they get work release. You get out, you go to your job, you serve your time on the weekends.
No, but really, if you're in contempt of court, you can go to jail. Some judges are harder than others. What I don't like is usually these high-rolling guys who make a lot of money, who have fancy attorneys, don't do a day in jail. They wouldn't even, and they laugh at contempt, and it pisses me off because it does matter who you are in court. Chris, I know you have a question for Bonnie. We're going to take a break. What is that question? What does it have to do with?
It has to do with child custody and child support.
Okay, if you hold on, Chris will come right back to you. Rocky's Auto, 63rd and Federal. Rocky'sAutos.com, a really good website. They really have revamped that and done a pretty good job of keeping up with inventory. But keep in mind, their inventory changes often. They have a huge selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans, sometimes a motorcycle or two. Here's the deal. If you go there on one day and they don't have what you want, tell them what you want. They'll give you a call when they get it in. They change inventory sometimes 2 or 3 times a week. You know, some inventory, not all of it. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 7. Saturdays, 9 to 6. Their hallmark is not only a great selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans with colors, options, prices, and really just for almost any budget. They also have 40 lenders to meet your lending needs. 303-426-4646, 63rd and Federal.
This is...
I'm really, Dan, I'm telling you, I'm really learning how to do market-driven.
Motor vehicle law, the SR22.
Yeah, but
No insurance.
Yeah, but they're using them for not paying child support.
What? SR22?
Oh, no, I thought you were talking about
There's our insurance thing, bro.
I know.
Well, how does that?
It has something to do with...
An SR22 is a form.
I know.
That states you have insurance.
Yeah, and they send it that you don't have insurance, but they're using that system somehow on child support. Let me find out.
Yeah,
Is that just-
Is this like that control tower that has no steps?
No, it has steps, it's just not all the way down.
Oh, damn it.
Hey, that guy that had the ceiling problem?
Yes.
The workers fixed the roof, and they came in to do the ceiling, but they said it was popcorn, so they tested it. Full of asbestos is why they stopped.
Ooh, but what are they going to do for him?
It's falling.
What are they going to do for him?
I gotta call the...
Holy crap.
He doesn't have the phone number of the property management company. Yeah, that turned into a worse deal. Let me go find out what the hell that was about the SR22.
What did I do? I have no idea how that could have anything to do with child support. Here's what you're going to find. He finds out one little fact, and then he brags about it for 3 days, like he knows something no one else does. And then how many times we find bullshit? Huh?
Or at least partial bullshit.
Well, not that much, actually. But I would say 2 out of 10.
I want $96,000 a month or a year in alimony.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You're the wrong guy.
She went doctor.
Yeah, I know, and she's complaining. That's the part that's driving me nuts.
And she was working.
Yeah, well, you paid maintenance, you just paid it up front, right?
A different way. The nice thing is, it is peace of mind, and it's done. It's
And you know what's cheaper about it is we'll see when
It could be better for them, too. I mean, if they took the lump sum and invested it right, they could literally make more than a long-term deal. And they're banking on you keeping up with your income, because who the hell knows what happens in life? So I'm not so sure
I
that
mean, Mark takes over your job, boots you out.
I fire his ass.
He dies.
Now, don't say that, Carly.
No,
Hey,
I'm
we're done.
seriously, no, if he did, died, boom, nothing.
No, that's what I mean. If it's long-term, I don't know. Lump sum always seems better, but how many people have a lump sum is what that comes down to.
Or how many people are able to invest that. Just like lottery winners, they take the lump sum.
God, you always hear, isn't that the saddest thing? You always hear how
I wonder what the percentage is.
they like $2-3 million they win. Let's not go crazy. You win the Powerball, there's no way you're going to shit it.
$500,000.
You can't. Not $500 million.
Well,
You can't do it.
Hold on. I have seen cases where people have won $100 million and went broke.
Yeah, oh, yes. I bet there's a lot of those. Yeah.
You know, half of it's taxes, no matter how you look at it.
Well, look at Wesley Snipes. He was worth $200-300 million, and he went basically broke, and they threw him in jail for tax evasion and everything else. So shit happens.
Look at how many sports stars.
Oh, football players making $1 million+ a year.
You don't know how and what to do with money. People scam the shit out of it.
Yeah, they want a posse. You win a thing. You want a posse.
A posse?
Entourage.
Huh?
An entourage.
They call it.
Posse. No, entourage is.
I can't even.
You better have the money to have an entourage, because man, talk about just throwing money out.
That's right.
Suzanne's my entourage, and I'm hers. That's about as entourage as I'll get.
Can you pause that for a second?
Ovation customers worldwide. That's ovationhair.com. Do it for Mom.
Attention all men. Have Viagra and Cialis let you down? Think your best days are behind you? Think again. If you suffer from any type of erectile dysfunction, regardless of your age or medical history, the doctors at Evolution Medical Group can help you now. There's no pain, no needles, no surgery, and no medication. Just the newest available proven treatment from Europe using acoustic energy waves. Their FDA-cleared medical device regenerates blood vessels and erectile tissue with short in-office sessions. Safe and effective ED treatment. No pills, no needles, no side effects. Call now for full information. Call 303-420-8955. That's 303-420-8955. If Viagra and Cialis have let you down, call Evolution Medical Group at 303-420-8955 today and get your sex life back. Call 303-420-8955 or visit their website at evolutionmedicalgroup.com.
Need a new roof? Call Excel Roofing at 303-761-6400.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
I'll admit I was wrong. What else can I say, girl? Can't you blame my head and not my heart? I was drunk, I was gone. That don't make it right.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Okay, Chris has a question, and we do have lines open right this minute, and Joe, I'll get to you, and you can get right through. 303-713-8255. The reason I say that is so many people write to us and say, I couldn't get through, and I'll let you know whenever you can. So, what's going on, Chris?
Yes, me and my wife have been married for about 5.5 years, and we adopted a child in April of last year.
Okay, you're still married?
Yes, I've filed for divorce.
Okay, but hold on. You're married 5.5 years, and you adopted a child last year, and you're still married. Okay, now continue.
Yes, she up and left 7 months later and took the child with her.
When did she leave? How long ago?
January 5th.
Okay, just this past January.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a 100% disabled vet, and I'm trying to figure out what my rights are.
So you adopted the child.
How old's
the child?
She is 8 years old now.
And when you said she up and left, do you know where she is?
How old was she when you adopted her?
She was 7 when we adopted
So it's only been a year. Okay, a child, 7 years old, 8 now. And you want to know what your rights are.
Kind of.
Jeez, wouldn't it be just like any other parent in the world and any other divorce? Is she going to divorce you?
Yes. She up and left and quit her job here, making $20 an hour.
And where did she go?
Amarillo, Texas.
Now, you know what? Because she did that before divorce, man, she's smart. Because if she had filed or you had filed, she wouldn't have been able to just up and leave.
But the thing is, Chris, if this case gets filed soon, Colorado still has jurisdiction.
But you have to be the one to take you have to do it.
I've already filed. We've had.
Where'd you file?
Here in Colorado.
What county?
El Paso.
Okay, the good news is now you have her traveling here instead of you traveling there.
Well, she does the phone thing.
She may not be able to do that the entire way. Hey, Chris, what's the disability? How does it affect you?
I haven't worked since 2014.
What is the disability?
It's PTSD, TBI.
What's TBI?
That could be an issue,
Traumatic brain injury.
Traumatic brain injury.
What is it? Service related?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to care for your daughter if you had parenting time? Are you in?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a child from a previous marriage that lives with me.
Okay.
How old is that child?
She just turned 18.
Okay.
What the law
in high school.
What the law says is there's a bunch of factors the court has to consider when deciding who gets parenting time and when. And one of those factors says that disability shall. I mean, most of the time, disability is not a factor unless it would affect your ability to parent. So just the fact that you have a disability and that you're on disability doesn't mean that you can't parent that child just as well as she can.
Okay, but what does he do now? Have you brought up a parenting agreement yet?
Yes, we have. I'm kind of in agreement, but not. What I'm worried about is she's going to, because she quit her job here and refuses to work in Texas. So she's going after max child support. And me being on, the only payment I get is from the VA. And when I do the child worksheet, it's like $450 a month. And I'll lose everything.
All right, so basically...
Yeah, Chris, they're not going to let her use zero for her income
if the
child's over the age of 2.5.
And if you're disabled, you only have to claim your disability income.
And they're going to use the $20 an hour that she's capable of making. That's what's going to go on the worksheet when they figure out what the child's support is.
That's what I was wondering, because she quit her job in January.
Yeah, it was a voluntary thing. She's able to make $20 an hour, and that's the number that, I mean, you're going to have to tell the court about it and bring in some proof of it, income tax returns or W-2s or something, but that's the number the court's going to want to use. What can she make if she chose to be working? And that's $20 an hour. That's going to change the support a lot.
Yeah, because right now she's arguing with me, well, how can you put my previous work experience if I can't find a job or get a job that pays that much?
Well, because this was
and
all
she
her...
refuses to work.
This was her decision. So is she going to come back to Colorado and so you guys can co-parent here?
She does not plan to. Like right now, I'll pick up my daughter in the end of May when she gets out of school, and I'll have her for 2.5 months.
So here's the bottom line, Joe. You want to know, excuse me, Chris, I'm sorry. You want to know what your rights are, okay? Your rights are of any parent. You have the right to have a parenting plan and to take that child part of the time. Is she going to oppose that?
No.
Okay. Well, that's what your rights are. And truly, you are like any other parent. You get parenting time, you get parenting responsibility, and unless your disability impinges that, it doesn't. So you have to negotiate. Right now, you're how many months in? When did she file?
I filed.
Or when did you file?
I filed in March. She refused to file.
All right.
So it made me file because
All right.
She's living with someone else, and that person's.
This is too bad. I'm really sorry for you.
Everything.
Now, do you have a good relationship with the child?
Yes.
Does the child want to see you?
Yes.
Krista, does the military offer you any sort of legal help down there?
Not really. Just trying to figure out, helping me fill out the paperwork the correct way.
All right. Does she have a lawyer?
No, neither one of us do,
well,
and I can't afford one.
And El Paso will require you to go to mediation. Have they already told you to do that?
No, we're still in the beginning stages where we have to do the sworn financial statement and all of that.
Feel free to call us back.
Okay.
Through this, because really, nothing's happening right now. What will the very next thing be after financial statements, Bonnie?
Then I would imagine mediation.
Yep.
We have a phone conference on May 8th, and that's where we go over parenting plans, sworn financial statement, the divorce decree, and all of that.
Well, I think
I'm just worried that I'm going to get slammed.
How? Slammed how?
With child support.
Well, you're not going to get slammed with child support. It's all formula-based. And you're on disability. They don't make you go to work. I mean, if you have a disability, you have a disability. You don't get slammed. You may, depending on her income and all of that, you may have to give a portion of your disability, but very seldom do you have to do that.
Chris, this is important. As part of those financial statements you're doing, you each have to give each other things like pay stubs and W-2s and bank statements. If she does not give you a pay stub from January from her last job, you need to mention that to the judge on May 8th. Say, I need a copy of her last pay stub from her job that she quit in January. You need that for proof in court that she was making $20 an hour. So tell the judge if she hasn't given that to you voluntarily.
Okay.
All right.
Because we've filed taxes together already for this year.
It doesn't matter. Right now.
Your tax return's not going to say what her hourly wage is. You need the pay stub.
You need pay stubs, and you have a right to have that. 303-713-TALK. When Bonnie's not here for consultations, then of course you can't give her free representation, but a quick question here and there if you think you might be a potential client. It's 303-798-1927. Okay, I'm going to come back to Joe. Joe, he wants to know if he should lease a property that he's going to put up for sale. Very good question, by the way. And let's talk about Century RV. If you're looking for real vacation, get it? RV, real vacation. It actually stands for recreational vehicle, and Century RV has a ton of them. CenturyRV.com is the website, and they have 2 locations, a 32,000 square foot indoor showroom in Lakewood with a huge selection of used RVs, and then they have, and new ones, and travel trailers. And then they have, up north, they have a service center as well. That's on the 119 turnoff exit to Longmont on I-25, 303-453-1111, CenturyRV.com.
This doesn't order an SR-22 for domestic cases, but whenever a license is revoked for any reason whatsoever, an SR-22 is automatic because they figure you're a deadbeat, so they make sure you have an SR-22. And the SR-22 makes sure you have insurance, but it really doesn't really.
It automatically kicks in if your license is ever taken for any reason.
Even if it's not revoked for insurance, that's the funny thing. If it's revoked for
Child support?
If it's
Like
revoked
DUI, I've
for,
heard for.
if it's revoked for parking ticket, if it's revoked for anything, even if you had insurance your whole life, for some reason, you automatically have to file an SR-22 because you're now suspect.
I like it.
It's a powerful tool for deadbeat dad problem.
But what is it? What I don't understand is what does it have to do with the SR-22 in and of itself does nothing for child support. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's the revocation of the license that makes somebody pay. If they don't have a frickin' license, they're pissed off and they're going to pay.
Yeah. Well, and they also have to pay for the SR-22. That's what this guy was ragging about the other day.
It costs more.
Yeah.
It'll up their insurance.
Yeah, that's what this guy was ragging about.
It ups your car insurance?
Oh yeah. It's because the insurance company.
I just don't like complicated things.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
because people listen even online, and
No,
it's a sidebar, is what I'm saying. It's a sidebar. It's not a big deal, but the deal is that revocation of a license. How often do you actually see that though? I mean, because I think that's a very powerful tool. If somebody's not paying their child support and they get their license taken away, have you ever seen that? Have you ever used that as a tool?
I have seen. I can't do it. Only child support services can do it.
But can you ask the judge to have them do it? Like if a guy's not paying his child support, have you ever said, "Hey judge, why don't you ask child services to take his license?"
No. No,
because that seems to me that would be a powerful
I don't
tool,
think that
right? Because the guy knows he's not going to go to jail. What if the judge says, "Guess what? We're taking your license," and then he finds out about.
Yeah, I think it has to go through the administrative process.
And then it becomes
it's not an option.
But you have an SR-22. That's still the insurance things are high risk.
She says half the SR-22 she does is supposed to be dead.
Most people don't want to make their license revocation.
Yeah, those have to go through the administrative way. The regular judge doesn't do that. It's child support enforcement that can take it away.
Yes, that's what she told me.
I can't do it.
No, but I think they just, I'll find out. I learned so much when you're here.
I guess it could go the other way. That's what I'm asking.
Well, it's information I hope you don't need.
Well, no. It's to tell other people or help other people. Like this guy asked me what he could do about getting rid of his SR-22 filing over not paying his child support. I go, what?
Yeah, I did not know that part of it because I don't deal with it. Child support enforcement does it.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
I've seen it yanked, but I can't ask a judge to do it.
So you can ask for.
I can ask for jail time,
right.
And I've done that. And I have judges, usually what I found is they set a date about 30, 60 days out, and they tell so-and-so, the father or the mother, whoever owes support, show up on that date, and if you have proof you paid it, you don't need to bring your toothbrush with you. I'm not kidding.
Holy God.
And if you pay it before then and you submit proof to the court, you don't have to show up that day, but otherwise, show up this day with the toothbrush and we'll give you a brand new orange jumpsuit. And I've seen say, and you're going to leave through that door, right?
Deadbeat dad thing is really issue with me.
It should be for everybody.
I had to pay child support twice, and I paid every bit of it, plus I paid for clothes. I mean, it's still your child.
I never keep track of anything.
1570. But I watch people just not, it's like, well, I divorced my family, so is their attitude. Like they divorced the kids, too.
It's a terrible deal. Yeah. In the 1980s, Donald Trump apparently conned a young reporter into putting him on the
I'll bet you, just being a government employee has washed out more deadbeat dads and everything. Because you can't be a deadbeat dad if you're a government employee.
No. I know when I renew my license to be an attorney every year.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. All right, Jake
will answer child custody in a second here. Really quickly here, Joe, you have a property up for sale? Yeah, his phone is dreadful. I'm going to ask questions quickly and then keep this background noise to a minimum. Joe, are you going to sell? Is this your primary residence? Joe?
No.
Okay.
It's a rental property.
Okay. And what are you asking about it?
Well, it's a condo.
Okay.
I have somebody that wants to rent it. I've got a renter in there now. Their lease expires at the end of the month. I was going to put it on the market.
Uh-huh.
somebody has come to me and said, I want to rent it. If I rent it to them, obviously I exclude a chunk of buyers out there.
You're right.
I.e. those who want to move in there. But by the same token, because of the price range, this is a property that's going to interest a lot of investors.
How much is the price? What's the price range for this condo?
1.25,
and
one bedroom.
And what
unit.
part of town?
Sheridan and Hampton.
This is most likely going to be a rental, most likely, and I would say that's going to be the biggest segment of your market. And what you really have to do with your rental, I would rent it out under that scenario. It's always easier to sell if it's not rented if you want to stage it. However, if you are going to appeal mostly to investors, I don't think there's any harm, but I would put a clause in the rental about being able to assign or transfer the lease.
Now, in Colorado, is that lease binding across ownership?
Okay, in Colorado, if you don't mention it, it's a lease, and they have a right to it. If the lease is to lease a specific property, most of the time you can, we've had somebody tell us in the past, an attorney, that it's kind of like a lien on the property. You have to fulfill it and honor it. We've had others who say that it can be fought because the person that you are making the contract with no longer owns the property and therefore does not have the authority. So what they argue is that you should have at least an assignability clause. There, most contracts that are allowed to be assigned go one step further and they put it in the contract. What harm would it be to add that? And you have to get the proper wording from an attorney or online or whatever, but you want some wording in there that allows it to be assigned without any kind of hocus pocus or any kind of, you want to be able to do that.
You mean language in the lease or language in the sale contract?
Well, in both. In the lease, for sure, that the tenant's not going to say, well, I'm not paying rent, I don't have to anymore. And then obviously in the sale you want to honor the term of the lease, unless under both cases you don't. Then you put in the lease, upon sale this can be terminated with so much notice. And then with the seller you give them the option as well. And so it's up to you the way you want to make it, is what I'm saying.
Okay, very good. I have one more question for you. I can hold over or...
Okay, hold over. But when you come back, I'm going to take Jake, and Ed wants to talk to Bonnie with their quick questions. We'll take your question as well, Joe. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino. We have a lot to talk about. You stick around. We always learn something on this show. And remember, save all your problems for me. I've said it before, and I'll...
Why that's not fitting in there?
Why?
So how there's that border around it?
Why? Did you try doing the white of the same size?
It's not. So it says it's like 325 by 100. It's not. It's 425 by 130.
Now,
so what you're seeing there is 325.
But if you did that, if you just did a white banner, just a white blank, and put it that size, would it cover that or not?
It will, but if it's some of the logos that we have are transparent, so getting all of that to fill in is hard.
What do you mean by that?
So some of them are transparent, so when they're on there, it comes up a light gray.
You
and
should,
then some of them
Bonnie,
are
I call
white.
Vince pretty quick too, because
Yeah.
they start raising
Some of the banners
Okay.
have their own background.
Feel
Have
bad
a
voting
transparent
on my
background,
mortgage.
so it's not
God,
white.
that's a
Well,
huge
okay, but
difference.
then if you do
Oh, well, like
I mean,
10-year period.
what is the difference? Why can one lender get something?
Okay. You might have to
Lower overhead.
I might not. I like the sweater.
In other words,
I might not.
Some people only deal with certain banks because they get kickbacks from those. I mean, there's a million reasons. It's like any other business.
I want troubleshooting.
That's the NFL guy. I like that. The one where you had your arms crossed, in the big picture, you kind of look like you have smiles, and in the small picture, it looks like your mouth is turned down, like
I don't want to smile.
like you're.
I specifically don't want to smile.
But it looks like you're kind of angry, which you're a troubleshooter.
Okay,
It's
so
kind of like
but
deal with
how
it.
is that different?
That one, your mouth doesn't look turned
Okay,
down.
it looks like a little
Does it-
small but a serious smile.
It looks serious. The other one looks like this.
So you like it?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll always be truthful with you.
Okay, I just wanted
I'm not trying to kiss your ass.
I know you don't. But listen, I just need to know because this is business.
No,
okay.
I like that.
Okay.
And I do like the light
Mark,
brown
let time to go to the restroom or no? Do we wait too long?
It's,
You can always come in and go out, Bonnie, it's no big deal.
Okay. So I guess, I mean, I really fiddled with it, and that is the reason. They made it that way to fit in there.
What's that?
And you have to stretch it, and not all logos can fit in, not all logos are long like this. And that's the problem. Some of them are big and square, and you have to downsize.
Here's what I'm saying. With all logos,
right.
You start with a blank canvas that is
me.
white.
I'm
and
interested
that
in
size
bidding
of
my
that
rentals.
with all logos. Then, whatever you paste on it, if it's transparent, fine.
Is he just going out there, put it on there and say the highest price will
What
get
we
the
shouldn't
win?
allow, Mark, and this is something for future, we should not allow, watch this, any banners that have a logo and they send it to us like this, or even like this. We should not allow it. We should only take, look, unless this is part of the logo, we should not allow these, because these, we need transparency on all. In other
We're
words,
never going to, I mean.
but no, people, they have their logos designed. Otherwise, we're never going to, I mean, that's fine. If we take, like, that's transparent. Okay?
Right.
Now, if they're not transparent, if you start, you see this thing? Let me just show you something. I want to show you something. If I take that off, and that off, and that off, okay, we could start with that every time, and it could be white. And then you just lay stuff up on that. You see what I'm saying? And by doing that, what you're doing is you are literally, yeah, you are literally starting the way you should start, and then it.
That's 800-694-1010.
800-694. Once you do it, you are starting with a blank white that covers the whole banner. So whatever you put
Which is
over
actually
it,
$4.25.
and I'm glad you did that.
Yeah.
And so if you, I'm going to show you how to build a canvas.
Okay.
$4.25.
We'll do that. Perfect.
And I don't think you're up for a complicated
Oh,
program.
no, I can be,
I can make
once you show me.
or I can make you the canvas, and then you can overlay the logo.
Perfect.
But
Yeah, I know.
what is the format?
It was
Can you use a JPEG? Can you open a JPEG with your paint program?
Yeah, I can open everything except for.
I bet we finished around 250
or PNG. What do you
Right.
prefer?
250 down?
It doesn't matter to me as long as I can open it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make you the background.
And I'm looking for my gut.
575.
Climbing towards 6. I'm going to make this for you. Now, that's 425 this one.
Yes, and then 130 that
And when I make that for you white,
yes.
I'm going to make that for you, and then I'm going to send it to you in a JPEG, and you call it the template.
Okay.
And then do a couple of tests, okay?
Perfect.
I'll
Well,
do it.
it took me a while to research that one. I was
That's
out
good,
and
though. I'm
to
glad
close
you did
next
that.
week.
I'm
I was
gonna
like,
do it
there's
right
gotta be
now.
a reason.
Yours?
Yeah, it's supposed to close Tuesday, but we got an issue going on.
Do you work with clients? I have a gal that I've been helping. Her daughter is being abused, and it's Greeley, so that's Weld County. She lives in El Paso County. She moved the kids to El Paso County, but social services has dropped the ball. Her lawyer did nothing, and she's willing to pay a lawyer. She just wants a lawyer that's going to fight for her. Well, to like even file papers or do anything. He's charging her or saying she owes like $3,000, and he has done nothing. He has dropped the ball across the board. So she has fired him and is looking for someone. But I wasn't sure if you go outside of.
I do sometimes. She's much better off getting an attorney in that county.
That's what I told
A lot
her.
of money to drive there.
Right.
And I don't know the judges. I don't know the clerks.
And I told
There's
her
lots
the
of things
same
I don't
thing
know.
that happened with my grandfather. You need somebody that's
Where's the case? Is it Greeley?
Yes, it's in Greeley.
It's in Greeley.
Did you ever find that other shows
On 630 KHOW.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by a safe, solid investment called Become the Banker. I'm Tom Martino. We're going to get to the phones and solve your problems, answer your questions, take your complaints as a consumer advocate, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on the iHeart Radio app, and live, of course, on KHOW in Denver. 10 to 1 every day, Mountain Time. Become the Banker is a safe investment. You overfund life insurance. It grows tax-free. You borrow from it. You build up a cash value, so at the end you can borrow continually for a supplemental or a main income in your retirement. Never pay tax on the money, with the life insurance proceeds paying off the loans. It's a wonderful plan. You can learn more about it at becomethebanker.info, where you'll find a video. I'll explain it. I would love your feedback. We have answered each and every one that had a concern. They have seminars. They'll answer your questions. You can sign up for the seminar at becomethebanker.info. You know, it's my bank, my money, my way. That's really what it is. Now, if you have a concern, call me. I'm serious. Most of the people that had concerns were talking about ordinary life insurance, whole life, which is not a great investment. This has a guaranteed return of 5% plus, 4% plus 1% in a dividend they get. So let's talk to our callers. Jake's got a custody. Joe, I'm going to get back to you, but I said I need to take a couple questions for Bonnie Shields, our family attorney today, in as a guest from the referral list. Jake, what are the child custody issues, Jake?
Okay, I have a daughter, a 4-year-old daughter, that lives with her mother in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Yes, sir.
And I'm a professional touring musician in a band that plays almost 200 shows a year, so we're gone constantly.
Okay.
And I'm in Denver right now, a lot of time in Denver. And when I go home to Oklahoma, I want to see my daughter. I go to pick her up. And her mother is the custodial parent, so she basically makes all the rules as far as how much I get to see her. And
well, do you have a divorce decree or a parenting plan that mentions that? You said she gets to choose. Why?
Right. We were never married, but we do have, like, it's a paternity. The paternity agreement that I signed also made her the custodial parent somehow. I'm not sure how that works.
Okay, so you agreed to it, but anyway, where do we stand? You could have still had something built in, even if you have a custodial parent who makes decisions. You can have guaranteed stuff built in. But having said all of that, let's just continue. What's your question?
Well, the issue is whenever I go home, I mean, it's hard to tell too far ahead of time when I'm going to be able to come home because of my schedule, and so I am hesitant to go try to get some sort of legal order in place, because I'm afraid I won't get to see her as much because I don't know when I'm going to be home. We had been basically working it out together, and that was all going just fine until I started seeing someone else. All
right, so she's pissed off. So what did she say? You can no longer see her?
No, it's not like that. She says I can see her anytime I want, but when I get home, she won't send my daughter with me. She says, well, you need to figure out how to get her to go with you. I have to convince my 4-year-old to leave her comfort zone and her place where, I mean, she spends all her time with her mom. She's her best friend.
Okay, hold on. This is not necessarily a legal problem, sir, but you can ask for a modification of parenting time right now and create a plan, even though there wasn't one in the beginning. Bonnie, is that correct?
I would think, and I don't know about Oklahoma, but here, I would tell you to go to court and get something in place. And it doesn't have to necessarily be that you have her, you know, certain days or certain times, because your schedule changes. It might just be that you need to give her as much notice as you can. And, you know, 4-year-old doesn't get to choose. Parenting time is parenting time, and 4-year-olds don't get to choose whether to go or not.
But that other problem with her saying, well, you have to convince her and all of that, you just have to work that out. I mean, you have to just build a relationship with her. That's not a legal issue.
Well, we've been working on that for the past 3 years, and it's to the point where it's driving me nuts. And I've called 3 different attorneys, and they're at a loss at how to write language so that I would be able to see my daughter whenever I'm home.
Well, isn't your band booked
well, it is
ahead
hard.
of time?
It is hard to do that.
Yeah. Isn't your band booked ahead of time so you know when you're not booked?
Yes.
So how much notice do you have that you can give her?
Sometimes it's 2 weeks, sometimes it's months.
Oh, well, that's lots of notice.
Sure it is.
That's a lot of notice. So I don't
Bonnie
know
could
Oklahoma,
probably
but
write something up.
yeah, I just don't know why. Is she arguing that's not enough notice, or just
maybe he's gone for too long of a time, Bonnie? Like gone 3 months and then back for a couple weeks. I mean, what 4-year-old deals with that?
You're right.
Yeah.
That is difficult, sir. You know that, right? I mean, it like I said, I'm going back to what I said. It's not a legal problem.
Jake, what about, are you doing things like Skype and other things so you can...
Oh, yeah.
All
I call her every day, and I Skype her at least 3 or 4 times a week.
All right, here's the deal. If you want some ideas, seriously, on writing that up, Bonnie is very creative, and she would take a wing at it. If you want to do a parenting plan, but your wife has to be in favor, your ex or whoever it is, the biological mom has to be convinced, or you guys have to come to some agreement. Who has jurisdiction, Jake, basically, in this case? Where is anything filed?
It'd be in Oklahoma County.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But at least, Jake, Bonnie can give you some ideas, okay, on how you would word it. Her number when she's not here, 303-798-1927. Ed, what's going on with you, Ed? Welcome.
Good afternoon, Tom.
Hey.
Bonnie, thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, what's happening?
Married for 25 years. My wife wants a divorce.
Wow.
My situation is that she was always the breadwinner of the house. You know, I worked and I didn't make as much as she did.
Okay.
So,
and how much is she making roughly?
She's making about 82,000, and I'm making maybe 35.
Okay.
Okay. My thing is, I was understanding that maintenance might be applied to me if I need it.
Well, yeah, it's all formula based on your income, her income, and parenting time.
Okay, and then, well, we don't need, all our kids are all grown up and gone. But another question I had to ask is...
Well, hold on again. Hold on a sec. You're talking about maintenance, right? And then not child support, right?
Not child support.
Okay, maintenance is that is also recently had a formula, didn't it, Bonnie? Isn't there some kind of formula they use?
There's some guidelines that
but
the
not
court does look at.
necessarily hard and fast.
It's not hard and fast.
But how does that work? You know the general guidelines.
You plug in the gross incomes of the parties, and it's 40% of the higher wage earners' income minus 50% of the lower wage earners' income. If you look at monthly, that would be the recommended monthly amount. And
so if you take, so how does this work? Let's just do it for grins. So you take 82,000, which is, and then you subtract his 32,000.
No, you take 40% of the 82,000.
Okay, 40% of the 82 grand. Okay, times 40%, and then what do you do?
Then you subtract 50% of the lower income.
Okay, so we have 32.8, and we take minus 16 grand, okay, and then it comes up to 16.8 is left, and you divide that by 12?
Yes.
And divided by 12 gives you roughly a $1,400 a month, roughly. But then what else do they take into consideration? Can they say to Ed, hey, Ed, work harder? I mean, or how long were you married? 25 years? He may get maintenance. He may get maintenance.
Just so you know, on the guidelines, if you take then his maintenance amount and his income, those two numbers together cannot be more than 40% of her income. So there is...
Okay,
like
so
a little
times
cap.
12.
You have to always do the math to make
times
sure.
12. So 16.8 plus his income of 32 cannot be more than, so that 48.8 cannot be more than what?
40% of her gross income.
And then he might get part of her retirement too, right?
See, and that was another thing I was going to ask, because I'm 55 right now. And so, you know, another, 12 years, whatever, I'll be ready to retire.
Okay, so in this case, I'm sorry, in this case, it is about 16,000 more than his 80% of her or 40% of her income.
Okay, so that his maintenance would get dropped so that it doesn't exceed that 40%.
So it would be 48.8 minus that. Okay. Okay, so anyway, bottom line is, sir, what is your main question about now?
My main question right now is, come retirement time, I'm 401, and her pension. Am I eligible for any of that?
Sure, if you've been married, any of those amounts that have accumulated during the marriage are marital property. So they belong to you as much as they belong to her.
Yeah, anything
really.
that was acquired at all, anything you guys got together is part yours and part hers.
For the most part.
Well, except what, Mark? Except what?
How about if her parents left her something?
We didn't say that. We said anything acquired. Now, if she has something specifically given to her, how does that work? Like an inheritance?
If she kept it separate, then it stays hers, and he would only be entitled to any increase in value that it has.
So if she inherited a piece of art.
Right, and it's gone up in value, whatever it's gone up in value, he'd potentially be entitled to a portion of that increase in value.
Okay, so when I said acquired, that was confusing because because literally an inheritance is acquiring something. But if she's given something, that would count as hers if they keep it separate. But judges are real sticklers on that. When something is given to you, and when you say keep it separate, Bonnie, what does that mean? You have a painting and you put it up in the house.
Well, with the painting, it's really easy. You can keep it separate. Or if let's say it is an expensive painting, it's $10,000. You sell the painting and you buy a boat with the $10,000. That's okay. But when you buy the boat, if you chip in $2,000 of the money in your bank account, you've kind of messed it up because now you've mixed marital money and. But Ed, you're entitled to a portion of a pension. You're entitled to a portion of 401k, IRA.
Yeah, you're entitled to anything a woman would be entitled to under the same circumstances. Now, I just want to say something. I don't know why, and this is not against Ed, I swear to you, but it felt weird to me when him wanting to know this. Yet any woman that would have asked that, I wouldn't have thought twice about answering. It just felt like weird. You know what I'm saying?
Society.
I'm being sexist. I am, because I'm thinking, come on, bro, go on out and get your own. Then at the same time, I wouldn't say that to a woman. Come on, lady, it's his.
The one that drove me nuts was the caller before. Here's this guy gallivanting around trying to do some band music crap, and then he's arguing. He should be home helping raise that kid in the same damn town Monday through Friday. Crap. Now that's the Dr. Laura.
You know what? Okay, it is, and it's not such a bad Dr. Laura. But here's the deal. What if truly, Mark, this is his living? I mean, I get you.
Then he shouldn't have knocked her up to begin with.
Or what he should do is alter his living, because what you're saying, and it's refreshing. You're saying if you take on rearing a child, you better take it seriously. And you don't go and accommodate yourself. You accommodate the children first. And we all know someone who gave up a lot to raise a child. Okay, 303-713-8255. Wow. Joe, we're back to you. What is your other question quickly, sir? What is your question?
Yeah, took you off speakerphone.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I have some units that I'm going to sell from rental properties. They are in a price range where there is no inventory. They will sell in a day.
What price range?
No doubt about it.
Price range?
Between 120 and 160.
I urge you to use Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Honest to God.
So
I mean,
here's the question.
Okay.
Fine, Frank Duran, but
whatever.
He's still at 6%.
Not necessarily.
I hate that argument.
Not necessarily.
How about if he makes you? How about if you want $100,000 for your house and he gets you 110 and then you pay him 6? He made you 4 more percent.
Or if he gets you 150. What I'm saying is usually, if you have someone good like Frank, they will make you more than you'll ever make on your own because of the negotiating and how to take offers. But let's just move on. What is your question, sir? Go ahead.
What other options are there out there?
Than selling?
Can help me move these.
Than using a realtor.
Yeah, paying the 6%.
Okay, you want to know, okay, they have lower commission realtors, flat rate real estate. I personally wouldn't use a flat rater because...
Sell on your own.
Unless, you sell it on your own. But, Joe, when you sell it on your own, you will never get someone representing a buyer to take someone to you because they're not going to get their 2.8 unless you're willing to pay that. Hold on, and we'll talk about it coming up. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino. All fair questions. Brent Ivinson, Ideal Home Loans. Let's talk about a specific example where you helped one of my listeners. I want to hear some beef and potatoes.
Well, here's the thing. So we had someone who called. They had a sizable amount of credit card debt. They were carrying $60,000. Now, when you consider that the average homeowner is carrying $20,000, now bad things happen to good people, and that was really kind of the circumstance with these folks. But they needed to get rid of the credit card debt. They also needed about $48,000 in cash to do some home improvements to their house. We were able to give them everything they needed. We paid off all their credit card debt. We got the $48,000 they needed for the home improvements. We were saving them $855 each and every month and shortening the term that they had left on their existing home loan by 3 years, which saved them $122,000 in payments and interest.
That is a great example, and that's what I meant by beef and potatoes. Mark laughed at that, but anyway.
It's meat and potatoes.
Oh, I'm sorry, meat and potatoes. Anyway, thanks, Brent. IdealHomeLoans.com. Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan, 303-867-7000. 867-7000. I meant that about Frank Duran, the real estate man, 303-920-1622. And speaking of other people, he was talking about people, people that get in financial difficulty. Sometimes you do have equity in your home, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're down and out and you need a fresh start. Winkandwink.com. A husband and wife team that will give you the attention you need during a very troubled time. Chapter 13 or Chapter 7. If you need a fresh start, please learn from it if you do. 303-410-1720. 410-1720. Winkandwink.com.
This report is brought to you by U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration.
A lunch-hour drive off to a fairly...
Oh, yeah, I hear that expression all the time. This came up.
That's Chinese.
He has knee shattered.
It
is give me the beef and potatoes. And when he gets all this money, he gets steak and eggs and all that money.
Okay, I haven't looked. Hold on, I haven't looked for a minute. I bet we're reversing. God, I hope we are into the fours.
This amount for
Hey, it
future,
broke 6 a few minutes
like
ago.
lost wages, that future lost wages they get married would probably not be marital property.
Okay, well, it seems so wrong. She's got to take care of them all this time, too.
That's the thing, but on the other hand, he experienced the injury. I mean,
Yeah, I think
both
I
of
got a
them
deal on Microsoft.
both paid
It's
for
already
it,
down from where I bought it, of course, but it's
okay.
that's what I think they're. I
Well,
thought
it was just $90 you raised it.
I think it's yours.
There's always seems to be some little exception out here. He was saying that because it was a casualty loss.
Oh, good. It's back up over 93.
marital property.
I know that has some.
And I'm back in the green on
casualty loss
on Bank of America that I just rebought.
You didn't get a gain.
I rebought it. Yeah, I had to. I've done that before where I made a huge profit, turned around and rebought, and of course you lose part of your profit.
Oh, I mean, I know I do personal injury too.
Yeah.
It's not ever taxable to anybody but me. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Can you pause that again? Mark, I've got a big problem.
Complete reliability with up to 6 hours of 4G wireless network backup. The others, no way. We let calls from any of your devices appear to come from your business number. Them, not so much. And Comcast Business Smart Office lets you keep an eye on your business from anywhere. Others, nope. Call 1-800-501-6000 to get internet from the provider who delivers. Plus, add voice and TV for $34.90 more per month.
Offer in 6/21/18. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Limited to one voice line and basic TV on one outlet. Requires Comcast Business Internet at additional monthly charge. Equipment taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Connection per restrictions apply. Minimum term agreement required. FLEF 0000279. TNACL 2006. AZROC 307346. CACSLV 1028256. ORCCB 199939. Call for details.
Squeak Services. It's spring. Time for spring cleaning for your furnace and AC, pipes and drains. Check out squeakservices.com for many spring specials. Proven trust with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau with licensed certified technicians. On time, every time with same-day service guaranteed. This is a squeak you'll love and trust. If you have a leak or need to beat the heat, call Squeaks. 720-520-4649. 720-520-4649. SqueakServices.com.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-681-0573.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-681-0573. That's 1-800-681-0573.
Michael Brown, afternoons 4 to 7.
Democrats celebrated Earth Day by basically tweeting, "Vote Democrat," because climate change is real and we're the only ones who care about the planet. Tune in Tuesday at 4 o'clock for more Irreverent Talk Radio.
Pro Auto Care for your car nanny situation. Let me tell you by nanny, and I mean it. You know how you used to be nannied by your dad or supervised? Hey, did you get your oil changed? Get your car cleaned? Get your tires checked? You know, sometimes moms do it, but mostly dads, sometimes uncles, big brothers. That's what they do at Pro Auto Care. They keep your mileage and they approximate it. And then whenever something comes up on your VIN number, they let you know. I love it. I really do. They're good people, and they have specials all the time. They're running specials. You can find them out by simply checking them out at 303proauto.com. And you'll look at Martino there, me, and click on it, and you'll see some specials. And they are honest, ethical, and here is my favorite feature. In between every service, you get roadside assistance. That's right. Roadside assistance in between every service. So you're part of the family, and once you become part of the family, you are covered. I used it one time. I got stuck. I didn't know what was going on. They came, took care of it immediately. That's 303 Pro Auto, 2 locations, near Evans and I-25 and near Bowles and Santa Fe. Let's go to the phones now, and I want to finish up with Joe because I do have some other stuff to get to, and Joe wants other options. And he says, look, I want to sell the property. I want to pay 6%. Joe, now I just want to tell you something. Theoretically, I mean, philosophically, I think that I don't like the question. I'll tell you why. Because I truly think you're foolish, and I think that you can't do as well as a true professional ever. Now, I mean, Mark is one of the most bullheaded people you'll ever find. He would do his own heart surgery if they let him. But here's the deal. He was blown away when Frank did his real estate deal. Frank Duran, the real estate man. He was blown away and saved him on both ends, and he meant literally. Now, I'm not trying to convince you right now and everyone, you got to use Frank Duran. What I'm saying is, you are correct in assuming that 6% can be wasted, because there are real estate people that'll put up a yard sign or put it in multi-list and be done with it. And you're right. Many times it's not worth paying the commission. But even if you do it on your own, you're going to have to pay something if you want action. The reason these things are selling in a day is not because some moke puts up a sign. It's because they hired a professional and it's in multi-list. So you're going to have to at least get it in multi-list. Now, if you want to advertise in other places, that's fine too. But here's what will happen. You put in your ad, "Will pay co-op." Then when a real estate person comes, because when they have a buyer agent, they're not going to go to a FSBO, because if they go to a FSBO, they don't make any money for themselves or their broker, and they get in trouble. So if you say "Will pay co-op," then you go and have them bring a buyer, then you pay that 2.8%. Do you get it?
Yes.
And that would be better. Well, in your mind,
it's still so risky, because here's the other part.
In my opinion, you're right.
Well, okay, but here, I want him to understand this. If you try to sell it on your own, or use Redfin, or one of these kind of help you sell your homes, one of the issues, if it sits on the market too long, then you risk really losing money.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to know what's wrong with it.
Do you know that if a home sits on the market 30 days, you are stigmatized where it loses perceived value? And that is one of the biggest mistakes people make when they price it too high. But they always say in their mind, "I'm going to come down," and you probably will. But the problem happens when you it sits on the market and then it gets stigmatized. You have to come down way more than you thought, and then now they see it's been on the market, then they see it's been lowered in price, and then that in itself stigmatizes it again. What I would do, but you're not in that category. You're in a category where something's going to sell pretty fast, and investors are pretty savvy at finding the market. So you may have a better time. You can always hire an attorney, a real estate attorney, to handle the transaction. Or you can do this. You can put that up for sale, do all of your own showings and everything, and simply hire Frank as a broker for a transaction broker. So you say to Frank, Frank, I just put this up for sale and I have the buyer. Can you do the transaction? In Colorado, real estate brokers have a limited practice of law when it comes to real estate. So they can do all of the stuff, and they will charge you a fee. You negotiate that with Frank beforehand. Call him and say, what would you do if I find you the buyer? And they become a transaction broker. It is allowed, and it is recognized in Colorado. The other thing is an attorney, or you do everything yourself and you go to the title company. Now, with all the experience I have in real estate, and I have tons of commercial and residential experience, I would never do it on my own ever, because I have found that these guys will make me way more, even after their commission, than I could have done on my own.
You know, Frank had, this is an amazing number. He did a 3D walkthrough of our house in Castle Rock. Yeah. We had, on the first 2 days, 75,000 people around the country walk through my house.
Here's what Joe's going to think. Joe's listening. He's going, blah, 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 blah. It's a great market. You don't need someone. So that's fine. But anyway, Joe, I answered your question. I gave you some excellent alternatives. Hey, Ruth. What's going on with you, Ruth?
Well, CenturyLink, I trained, my cable bill was about $300 a month, and I told them that was too much. I was with Direct. So we went with Dish.
And did you keep Did you keep CenturyLink, dear?
No.
Okay, so you dropped CenturyLink and Direct and went with Dish.
Yes.
And who did you get your phone with? Dish as well?
No.
Okay.
I can't think of it right now, but it's another one.
It wasn't connected to Dish?
No.
Okay. So anyway, what's going on? How can we help you, dear?
Well, CenturyLink says they sent me letters saying that they owed me $186.84.
Okay.
And I talked to the guy whose name was, I'm 85, so bear with me.
No, you sound young.
spry.
Yeah. So anyway, what is the issue right now? You can't get the money if we just go right to the problem?
No, they won't pay me.
They won't. Now,
they won't pay me.
But why would they owe you money? That's the part that's puzzling to me. Why would they?
Because we sent back the parts that they wanted.
Oh. You know what? You said we. Are you married?
No.
Okay.
My daughter lives with me, and I have a son that lives with me.
Okay. That's the reason I asked.
I want to. 2 years ago.
Okay. We can help you, and I'm sorry you lost your husband. You sound like a lovely lady. We want to help you, and we can cut through that mustard for you if you want. Hold on a second, okay? Just hold on. Don't go anywhere, and we'll take care of it. The Raleigh House has a number I want you to call if you have an addict in your life. No matter who you are, if you have an addict in your life, and I want you to call today. Here's why. Nothing ever changes at all with addiction unless you take action of some kind, or they take action. That means you call and ask about rehab or treatment, ask about the Raleigh Houses program, ask about the other programs, ask about the Salvation Army's free program, ask about harm reduction, ask about how to approach an addict, ask about insurance, anything you want. Ask, but do something. Then get the information, and maybe get another family member, and then eventually go talk to the addict and have them call this number with you. It is imperative you do something. The Raleigh House, now, the Raleigh House is doing this with no obligation. It's confidential and it's free. Please call. TheRaleighHouse.com is their website, but here's the informational number, 720-893-5559. 720-893-5559.
This is Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
Yes.
I called to see if they would accept what's called a basic fire policy on the house instead of full homeowners. Or have to be a full homeowners. The insurance company did say that the lender was loan the additional for the run. What is it for? What is it for? She's trying to get they're trying to do a house deal. The
house is just a closing.
Average home price.
And apparently we're selling our house. It's supposed to close next week, and apparently we had hail damage at some point and didn't know it. Yeah.
So what about?
So they can't get insurance to close on their loan because
they have to buy the roof.
Yeah, the government takes the roof.
One of the reasons I started looking at cars was
because our agent would love for us to just say, well,
no, but it takes some time. No, but I mean, who's paying for the roof?
Well, that's the question.
It's still being negotiated?
Yeah.
Okay. So what difference does it make if they can get it? I mean, if you're not going to, you don't even know. In other words, what difference does it make? If they can't get insurance, what difference does it make if they don't even know if they're going to buy the house?
I was supposed to close, they want the house.
But you're saying it needs a roof. But you guys haven't decided to pay for the roof. Are they going to close not knowing, or are they accepting it?
I think maybe what's going to happen is they will go ahead and get coverage. All states will let them cover it.
But the roof is excluded.
And they'll have to put a new roof on it.
No, I understand.
So the question is whether we're going to probably take some off of
no major
the price to help them pay for it, or give them some back at closing, or
yeah,
it's a negotiation.
Yeah,
do Burger King stock?
I did not expect it.
Oh.
I didn't know because I'd have put it in.
You were in here when she was talking.
I would have put an insurance claim in years ago had I known. Oh, I don't know when it was damaged.
That's terrible because it was you had a hailstorm and never had a check.
Right.
And it would have paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, there's nothing weird there. Now it's excluded.
So Mark was looking to see if there's been a hailstorm in the last 12 months, I'm still covered.
Yes, you are. Yeah, boy. Unless it wasn't damage to that storm, because an adjuster will know. He'll know how old that damage is.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Did you find any hail?
We'll find out. He's looking. It takes a little bit.
Clint, he had guys exclude a fucking portion of a roof because it was an old claim, and the new one, they could tell the difference. I don't know how, but they can. I'm not an expert. But they knew the difference, and they said, wait a minute, this is old hail damage, this is new, we'll cover the new.
If that May 5th storm was close to there, I'd at least try it.
Yeah.
All I do is say no.
Yeah.
Well, this is, I mean, he's got exactly where he'll hit. We'll find out if her area was
My
there or
other
not.
question is, what does it do to the rates on everything else?
Well, it's hail. It's not going to kill you. It's not like having a fire.
Well, first of all,
it's
you're
an active
you're
guy.
in the house, right? And you're buying it. Did you get insurance on the new one?
Yeah,
It won't affect you.
It won't? Okay.
Not right
follow
now.
me
They
as a
won't.
person that
I don't
likes to
think
file
they'll
claims?
re-rate you.
It'll be on what's called your clue report, but it's hail. I mean, it's not.
Okay.
It's generally hurting everybody because all the rates in Colorado are going up because of it.
Okay.
So it's,
okay.
we've had too damn many.
I'm trying not to file claims so that we don't become one of those.
Yeah, but that's
Get
what
on
it's
my
for.
list.
I just looked up what your payments would be different from 3.8 to 4.1.
Yeah.
$36 a month.
Oh.
Times X amount.
250,000. That's with 250,000.
No, I'm saying times whatever the year.
So can you also tell me when rates are going to go back down so I can get a 2.8 like
Yeah, I think
we
the market's
cycle
going to have
out
to
of
crash, right? Basically, that's
Even
what
if the
goes
market,
down?
hey Bonnie,
It would have to
in this
big
market,
crash, yeah.
in this market, these people better not demand that you do the roof. If I were you, I'd say we're not doing it. So
No, she got a lot over what she would. They already. She got 50 grand over what they were asking.
But watch what you say.
Yeah, we're on broadband.
Well, still, I mean, it's great. There's nothing wrong with that.
I know, but
Are we still on?
I can take it off.
it doesn't matter now.
And even television. But hey, who has time to sit and watch TV? So when you want to connect with all those constantly moving adults, teens, and millennials, get to iHeartMedia.com and put AM/FM radio to work for your company.
630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station.
up? Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. One Clear Choice Garage Doors. If you just moved into a home, you want new garage doors, you can hardly hear. I'm telling you, I can't hear One Clear Choice Garage Doors when they put them in. Now, they use, of course, all the greatest doors and openers. And I'm talking about brand new doors I've had done by them. They do great work. Both openers and doors, springs, hinges, whatever. You destroy a panel, you back out without opening it. Come on now, it's happened. I know one of you have done that. Have you ever backed into your garage door ever? Any of you guys? Suzanne, have you ever backed into your garage door ever? Come on, without opening it. Be honest.
Say that again?
Have you ever backed up without opening your garage door?
No, never.
She wouldn't be with me.
303-565-6409. 565-6409, OneClearChoiceDoors.com. We got plenty of time for plenty of calls. We also have Bonnie Shields with us, attorney at law for family law. Scott, you have a problem with an extended warranty. What's going on?
I have a dryer that started making some really loud squealing noises.
Yeah.
And I called in for my extended warranty. I purchased it just about a year and a half ago.
So you purchased the entire appliance a year and a half ago, or the insurance?
The appliance, all of my appliances. I replaced all my appliances at the same time.
Okay.
And the extended warranties at the same time.
And how much was your regular warranty on this? How long was it?
I believe it's 1 year.
So you're just over the regular warranty, and you now are going into the extended warranty. And did anyone come out and check the noise?
Yes. So the noise started in May last year. I had them come out, and by the time they came out and diagnosed it, they ordered parts, said it would be a couple weeks before they came in. By the time they came in, the noise went away. So,
really?
Yeah.
And hold on. So they never did anything?
Correct. And so that was back in May.
What were they prepared to do? They ordered parts. What were they prepared to do?
They were going to replace the rollers on the drum.
I would have still made them do it. But anyway, then what happened?
Yeah, I was advised of that later and regret that. But in February or January, we had the same issue, and they came out. They ended up replacing the rollers at that time.
Good.
And then the noise started up again less than a month later.
Did they do all the rollers at that time?
Yes, all 4.
Okay, now what?
So the noise came back again, but this time they said, well, the only other thing it could be is the idler. So it's when you call in, it's like 2 weeks before they can even make it out.
I know, it sucks.
They come out, they diagnose it, then they say, okay, we got to order some parts.
Okay,
and
where does it stand right now? I mean, at this very moment. And by the way, folks, lines wide open, 303-713-TALK. And you can certainly get right through 303-713-8255. So where does it stand right now, right at this very moment?
So it's still making the noise. They replaced the idler. Again, I called them.
I've had complaints before. Sears sucks. People are saying their service sucks. I've had so many complaints about them. So basically, do they even know what's causing it? If we just get right down to it, do they know?
Now a technician to diagnose it again. So I've been without a dryer.
Yeah, man, that
since
sucks.
the beginning of March, and I have a large family, and it costs a lot to take our clothes to the laundromat.
So what is the new diagnosis?
Well, they haven't come out, so they're supposed to come out Friday and diagnose it again.
What kind of noise are we talking about?
It's a loud squealing noise, like a ungreased bearing kind of sound, and it's so
maybe your cat jumped in there.
Nobody can stand in the room, and it's in our kitchen when it's on. So it's like, okay, we can't run it.
Wow. I wonder if anybody has any guesses.
Sears sucks, man.
Anyone listening has any guesses?
Maybe our appliance guys, but it's under
rollers.
warranty.
No, it's the extended
Maybe
warranty.
a belt driven.
Is it belt driven? I don't think it is. It?
Yes, it does, and they just replaced the idler and the belt.
They replaced the belt. Did you do a belt dressing?
I don't know.
Did they spray anything? There's something you spray on the belt to condition it. Did they do that?
I don't know.
There's bearings on the motor.
Yeah, they did that. Oh, wait. They didn't do bearings, did they? They did rollers. What about the bearings on the motor? That sounds pretty logical. Maybe they don't want to replace that motor, and they're putting it off, and maybe that's really what it is.
I'm not sure. I just know I need a dryer.
If you think about it, now there are bearings. The way the drum is, the dryer drum, are there just rollers, or are there also bearings? Are there bearings on the shaft?
I know
to
you're
the drum?
thinking out loud, but he's not going to know that.
No,
They're just rollers.
Okay, so I look at, what do you want? You want us to call them? I think that if it was me, I would have an independent give me an opinion, and then I would go after them to correct whatever he finds. I wouldn't have him do a repair, but unless it was going to cost too much to get this opinion.
Okay.
How much did this dryer cost you?
Have we had luck with Sears, Suzanne, or Daphne?
No, we have an angel there. We have an angel there we can get through.
Let's do it.
But Sears really, Scott, they're their own worst enemy, man. Here you went and bought all new appliances. Why did you go to Sears? Because of the Kenmore name?
Yes, and I have done this for years, and I've had great experiences so far.
Yeah, but Kenmore ain't what it
to
used to be, and neither is Craftsman.
Kenmore is only as good as whoever's building it.
And Craftsman is no good anymore. Well, I shouldn't say no good. They're not Sears anymore, and they're not like they used to be. You could go out and run over something with your truck and say, I backed over this here, and they give you a new one. You know, Sears, God, it used to be it was even higher end. Like you'd go to a department store, you'd go to Sears, right? There were some discount stores before Target.
Monkey
Kmart.
Wards, Montgomery Wards.
That were a step up too, but Sears was like a nice place, and place that would take anything back. They were the original, Nordstrom does that now, but Sears used to be that place, and now they suck. They suck.
I had really good luck with Jensen Appliance.
Yeah, they were good. They are good people, Jensen Appliance. If he didn't have this extended warranty, I would tell him that. Some extended warranties require that you go back to Sears. So here's what we'll do first. We'll give it to our friend at Sears to see if they can help. We call them angels when they're in the company. And then, as Clint suggested, we may have Jensen take a look at it after that if they can't come up with something. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. If you have a problem, question, or complaint, we have a lot of time. Golden Orchard Assisted Living, built specifically to be assisted living. The homes are built for it, with spacious bathrooms and living rooms and wheelchair accessibility, landscaped yards, spacious all the way around, patios. And the price for the rent, between $4,000 and $5,000, I don't have the exact number, but it's in there, includes everything: meals, outings, snacks, furniture, all of the stuff you need. Now, you can take your own furniture or use theirs, or a combination. Some homes have Alzheimer care, dementia, and memory care and attention. Or you can go as a couple or single. You can use, as I said, your furniture or theirs. And in some cases, pets. Call for details. You will love talking to Farrell, the one who built it with her husband years ago. 303-795-0784. 2 in Centennial, 1 in Wheat Ridge. GoldenOrchard.com.
This report. You have one of those things that does a laser dot. You take the temperature and you put it on each one.
Fairly decent shape for the metro area. Oh, very cool. Of I-25 downtown, both ways, pretty much slow there from Alameda traveling up towards Spear. Once you get to the I-70 interchange, it does improve a bit. Westbound and eastbound I-270, but stop and go on the approach. Probably reverse so watch out for delays in Commerce City Drive.
You found which road it was right away, because they were all about
right. I don't know what I'm saying. It's like you have to go around and feel what the forecast.
Yeah. Well, he could reach way back, that little laser dot go way back in there.
Right now, overcast skies in Denver and 34. So you can hit it with hot in your hand in there.
Yeah.
30.
That's the old way of doing it.
Unused prescription drugs.
Of course, you got rollers you get pinched in, and belts and everything else in there.
Clean them out. Take them.
I lost the end of my finger in the belt.
So want to hear this one? Listen, guys. Find a collection site at
Just wanted to give you an update. Vector got the bearing. Now, I've been waiting a month, right, guys? I went over last night to install it. While installing it, a stack ring broke.
This is on your heli?
Yeah. I'm not able to finish it. Vector ordered a new ring.
Find out more
After
by calling
extensive searching,
499-7620.
leaving town
Call
for a few days, so I'm like,
499-7620
the
to
snap ring
learn more
won't be
about
until
an
next week.
FDA-approved system that
Oh,
provides some
God.
I've used paper clips instead of snap rings.
Yeah, let's do that on the helicopter.
Call is 800-499-7620.
I bet it's a big snap ring, too.
Call now. Argostil is indicated for patients who are completely blind due to
Wait a minute, what did you say was on?
Side effects may require
Overrunning place, that thing's big.
serious infection,
The overrunning,
detachment.
the overrunning clutch stuff,
Risks associated
this
with
is
the device
a lot.
procedure.
Oh, it's only, it looks like,
7620. That's
a generator, generator. I mean, it's not generator, it looks like a little, I've seen some of this stuff, but it's about that round. Yeah. Oh, that's way lower. I was thinking it was a big thing.
Now, there are ways
hard
around
to see,
it.
and
Hey
then
guys,
it goes
it's
into
Ross
the-
Kaminsky for my friends at American.
I don't
I'm not even
know.
sure
And I'm
how
here
to remind you
to
that refinancing your home
I'm
loan
not-
is an easy way to save a lot of
Tom,
money.
Troy might
Think of it
come
this
in
way.
next time. That guy will have adopted that little girl.
Oh, we gotta talk about that. Thank you.
Well, you know what, Nick? Let's wait till it's done.
Student loan or credit card rate. I'm
Yeah,
talking rates
Dad,
in the low
the
single
birth dad is
digits
folding in
versus
prison
rates in the
because
high
his attorney
double
talked to
digits.
him.
Why
So
would
it's
you
a really good thing you
consolidate
got
that
an
high
attorney
interest
for
debt
to him.
by refinancing
She told
your
me he had no
mortgage?
chance.
You'll speak with a salary-based
And that
mortgage
he
consultant.
should, he should put the girl ahead of himself. So I'm thinking maybe next time we're on, I can see if adoptive dad will come on and thank the listeners and stuff for their help in that. Because he will have adopted her. It's the 18th of
And it was the guy that pornography. Yeah.
Yeah, he's away for 25 or 30 years.
Serious.
So he's agreed not to fight it, which
Wow.
saves on
Your
my
life
fees and
basically
the
over. I mean, being put away for 25 years. What do you have? I mean, God almighty, that costs business. So isn't it almost like, for them, you think about that, Dan.
Look at 25 years ago, what were you doing?
No, but think
4
about,
years old,
if you were put away, and when you get out, you're gonna be 60, think about your whole life, your prime. What a waste. Imprisonment to me is as bad as anything. It's not like merciful. I mean, and I'm not saying they should be in prison, they should. But my God.
You know, at that time too, they come out institutionalized, they
Oh,
really
of course,
can't function.
even a good
Yeah.
person and stuff has
Can't-
partially institutionalized.
Yeah, because everything's taken care of for them, you know, how to get a job, I mean,
I'll try to remember to ask him if he'd come on the air next time and say thank you.
yeah, that was wonderful. Well, that's really good news. That,
Yeah.
some of the things I hear bother me for a couple days, that one bothered me for a week, hearing that story. Just,
Like I did really bad things, and he's where he should be in prison. And he's gonna let this guy, who's a good guy, adopt the little girl.
Well, it's really bad, Tom, if you didn't do it and got stuck away for 25 years. If you're innocent.
You know, I got
Can you imagine
a letter here
how
And
that
there are
beat
people,
you?
you know, and you know there are people that have to.
I agree.
Hi, Tom Martino. Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome with Bonnie Shields, attorney at law. Bill has a comment on the dryer. Go ahead, Bill.
Well, the first problem is that he bought Sears garbage. But
Yeah,
anyway, I've had
never
I
used
didn't
to be
hear
garbage. Never used to be, but go ahead. You're
Right. I didn't hear if it was a front end loader, but the problem we had with ours when ours was new, there's these I don't know what the heck they are. They're what the drum rotates on. They look like eraser heads. And almost when it was brand new, they had to change the drum and those things out.
Okay, well, that could be it. Thank you. I mean, anything goes when it comes to talking to our people. We'll recommend anything. Greg, welcome, Greg.
Hey, Tom. Hey, real quick, I know you got to go. Got an old 2002 Winnebago from my dad when he passed. It sat out in the California sun. I get it back to Colorado, and I can't get the onboard generator to kick in. I believe it's just, it only has 2 hours on it. I believe it's just blowing out the
Go ahead. You might have an altitude switch right on it.
I checked that, Mark.
Is it a Cummings?
No, it starts with an O.
Okay. I got to tell you that.
Onan. Listen, man, Century RV has a great service department up north, but with a generator, anyone with there are a lot of Onan generator places. I looked one up one time. I had an Onan generator, and I looked it up and went straight for the generator place. And the fact that it was in an RV, as long as they can access it, they can work on it. But Century RV, I'm sure, has some stuff with that. So if you need anything else, let me know, or let Suzanne know. But Century RV, the North. Paul, what's going on with this collection agency?
I was wondering how to deal with the collection agency.
Do you owe the bill or not? Is it a known bill to you? That's the first question.
Yes, it is a known bill to me.
Okay.
How many years?
It's about 3 or 4 years old.
Okay, and how much is it?
It's for, well, the original bill was for about $7,000, but with their interest and everything, it's now to about $11,000.
Here's the important thing. First and foremost, make sure the collector is authorized to collect it. So you're not negotiating with a ghost, or you're not sending money. I'm serious. You need to really be sure they're authorized, and you can check with the creditor or ask them for some kind of documentation. Then the next thing is, all collectors want to do is collect. They want to collect. And payment plans, settlements, whatever. You can offer less. You can offer a settlement. But, you know, legitimate collectors are just doing their job. That's why I asked if you owe it.
Or do nothing until they take you to court.
Yeah, this is what has happened is I ran an ad on Craigslist to trade for some dental work.
Ooh.
And so I had a dentist respond, so I let him do dental work, and he did take some work on his house on trade, and he also
now, wait a minute.
took a car.
Okay, you did what for dental work? Or you do a dentist?
No, he did the dental work.
And what did you do?
I did some brickwork and some landscaping in his
And where
home.
does the collection come in?
And okay, so apparently the work that I did for him, he says, didn't cover the full bill.
Oh
so
man!
He gave up on trading with me, which is what we had originally agreed on.
That's going to be very hard for him to collect. Does he have documentation?
Well, he's got invoices that the dentist gave to him, and on those invoices, he does itemize the trade.
Well, here's the deal.
I'd make him take you to court.
That's exactly right. If it's that much money, I would say, you know what? We settle. Do you really think you owe some money at least? Do you know you didn't do the work?
Well, yeah.
What do you figure? What do you figure you owe? What do you figure you owe?
I figure I owe probably about $4,000, because this is the deal: is if I were to do trade for him, then I would. He's getting retail. He's charging me retail for his dental work.
That's right.
I never got to do any trade for him, and I can't really charge retail for my work.
Wait a minute. You never did any trade for him?
I did some trade, but not enough to cover the whole.
And you charge wholesale, or that's what you'll say. Listen, man. Like Mark said, everything goes to court before a judgment. Do not ignore summons and just say, look, take me to court. I want to give my end of the deal. Bonnie Shields, 303-798-1927. Save all your problems for me.
Do you know what I love about Art of Granite? Price quotes on the phone. Art of Granite supplies premier designer countertops.
You have time to plug them into the big board. And Dan, you too. I really want to start keeping track so we can go over them on the show. I'd like to have a follow-up segment every show. Okay. Maybe even, yeah, I would. I'd like to have a follow-up segment.
I got a lot of them that have just died.
Mark, will you email me?
Don't call back anymore.
Well, if they die and people don't give a damn,